You're welcome.
Hey, it's the Redeye Stream number 166. Soygon of Applebees. How's your suit today, sir? Okay. Son of a bitch. That was the funniest shit I've seen fucking in a long time, really. And there's been some funny shit lately. You got Mundane Matt melting down. But I mean, Mundane Matt compared to Sargon of Akkad melting down there's no comparison, really. I mean, at least Mundane Matt didn't come out swinging. He just hid like a little bitch and flagged people. So Temma, you watched the stream too.
Oh God!
You start us off here. What was your thoughts, especially with Sargon being muted for 20 minutes at the very beginning? And I'm pretty sure the people can hear me right now. So that's a step up for me.
Absolutely sure.
I'm pretty sure. Let me check the chat.
It was only 17, and he wasn't familiar on how to use OBS.
Yeah, you better make sure your mic's on before you start that.
No, they can hear us. They can hear us. God damn. But he just looks so smug sitting there talking to himself, and you can't hear shit.
And snickering. Oh my God.
And
I'm going to be a pompous, posh bitch.
Really, really proud of himself there, wasn't he? He was, that was fun. That was hilarious. And it was, top keck boomer, You would think that the guy that streams D&D on the regular would know how to stream a fucking, a stream he's going to do. But, hey, whatever. It is what it is. I think they both kind of came out looking silly in the end of this one.
Kind of, but Medicare whooped his ass, really.
Yeah,
he wiped the floor with him.
Vance is not Sargon's strong suit. It's not.
But Sargon threw out some pretty serious accusations. He even had taped what was that voice clip? That was fucking kind of cringe. Which is cringy on the fucking Medicare's part, really. Also, like secretly recording people. I mean, Medicare pretty much admitted he's a doxer, so there is that to be a strike against Medicare for sure. But all in all, I think that's not as bad as calling somebody a pedophile with no provable proof. Like no evidence, no provable evidence.
Yeah, you're saying he's grooming teenage boys. You say it repeatedly, grooming teenage boys. What the fuck, dude? Are you trying to suggest he's a cult leader or a pedophile? Either one is fucking harmful, and I really don't think of Jim as a cult leader. My God, he's too fucking lazy for that.
He does have the right name, though. There was a certain Jim that gave some people some Kool-Aid.
Oh God!
Keep an eye out for comments.
Yeah. It was an amalgamation of. Well, here's the thing. All right, so I guess apparently Sargon was in France. He wanted to say his piece on Mr. Medicare. So he had his articles and everything that he put in the description. He goes to start the stream. Apparently France's Wi-Fi at that area was so bad that it wouldn't actually start. So he schedules it for the future. So now you have an over 48-hour period before said stream is going to take place. And then everyone's going, oh my God, what's going on? Is he going to dox Jim? There's got to be something coming because there's all this stuff here and like what's going to happen and everything. And then apparently there were rumors of stream sniping. So apparently rather than doing it at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, he did it around 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because all I know is I woke up and I'm like, oh, look, there's a stream from Sargon. Oh, I guess he did it early. Oh, look, there's a stream of V sniping Sargon stream. Oh, okay, well. And then you listen to it and I'm like, wait, what the hell's going on? I'm like, all right, there's a little audio clip and then like 17 minutes go by and then it's like, oh wait, he forgot to switch the output from the video he was playing to his microphone. So you have over 2 days to prepare and then it's kind of a fail. Hey, I mean, he kind of accepted that. But then all of a sudden it's like, you keep throwing out the term grooming. So unless Mr. Medicare works in the dog grooming industry, it seems to be he's insinuating something else. And then Mr. Medicare, a couple hours later, completely tears into him in a very vicious way that hit over 27,000 plus people concurrently watching. Yeah, it was probably the #1 rated stream on YouTube at the time.
Oh no! And since you brought up the number of people watching, check your numbers, rookie. What the fuck, sorry.
No, it's all right. He uploaded that several days before.
Well then, what the fuck did I just walk into?
Oh my god, a ferret! You're adorable.
We're just making fun of Sargon. Making fun of Sargon like the rest of the internet. Got a dog pile. Is this the fall of Sargon though, really? I mean,
I'm really thirsty and I'm
No.
really in the mood for something salty. Do you know where I can get anything?
Well, speaking of that, Mad Dodge actually has a newly available item in his store.
Oh, really? Tell me about it.
Well, it's a nice 15-ounce mug of Sargon Salty Tears. It's wonderful, only $19.
Fantastic. I'm gonna have to get me one. Why don't we have somebody post a link in the chat?
Oh, it's already in the description. I made sure to show that shit.
Oh dear
You
God!
come in here just to shill shit. That's great.
Of course, I can't come in and not shill mad shit. Are you kidding me? What kind of person am I?
But no,
Oh, you're a ferret.
no,
He
Coffee.
loves to start shit.
Coffee, you didn't even see the stream. You already said that when we were off air. What do you want to? What was your question that you were going to wait to ask?
Well, basically what you just said is this the end of Sargon, and I already have a response for that, which is no, because he always seems to bounce back somehow. Like after the Styx and Richard Spencer stream, like somehow Sargon was still okay from that. So, is this any worse than that?
Does Mr. Medicare have a point, though? Because when they were having that debate on Warski Live, and it was the #1 rated stream on YouTube, that was where when Mr. Spencer insulted Sargon, and he kind of really started to, like, it just turned into, like, ad hom. It was just, like, nonstop yelling. It was like watching the O'Reilly Factor.
Yeah, he imploded.
Well, no, and I think this is the only time I'm ever going to agree with Richard Spencer. I think Sargon thinks he's smarter than he really is. I really believe that.
Oh yeah, no, he's starting
to be honest, guys.
He's buying the hype. Sorry, go ahead.
Richard
be honest,
Spencer's
guys,
got a lot of great stuff to say, man.
I'd probably implode too if I was caught wearing a suit like that. Let's be fair here.
Oh,
Hey, that was perfectly acceptable for your local Applebee's.
At least he can afford a suit.
I can afford a suit too. At least my suit looks half decent.
Well, no, and real quick, Voice of One actually designed that mug for me. How you doing today, sir? Thank you again, Voice of One.
No problem, lad. Anytime.
Plug it till your dick falls off, Mad. Plug it till your dick falls off.
But no, Voice. Well, what did you think about that shit show? Because that's what it was, and we'll get to the response to who is that person who responded to? I never even heard of him.
Teal deer.
Field deer.
His avatar is a teal deer.
Hello.
A faggot-colored deer. Any other questions? I'm gay, so it's okay, guys. It's okay. Don't freak out. No one panic. No one's getting demonetized. What are they going to say? We're homophobic?
Yes.
I don't know. We have
Fuck them.
Paradox on here a lot. I don't see how we could ever be accused of being homophobic. Maybe misogynistic, though.
Yeah.
Women
Besides,
are
I love Temma's tits. I say it quite frequently.
Oh, you
Good
know,
night, Temma.
yeah, I hear it a lot. I get to hear about my boo-boo-boos.
I'm going to be honest. I came to crash the stream. I'm doing
Awesome.
a piss poor job of it.
No one would ever
It
go around
got
starting
like
drama on the
3
internet.
minutes.
So remember, guys, buy your mugs, drink your salty tears, and don't wear a shitty suit. I'll be back.
And definitely don't go to France. Is that where this all started? Because he went to France?
To be fair, yes, it actually is my first.
Nuke Paris.
No, we're not looking anywhere. Except maybe an oncoming asteroid.
We should nuke
There's-
California, though.
Well,
one
can we evacuate 40 first, or is he too far
Yeah,
gone?
I got like a
He's
couple
not.
of people.
He's
I wanna
not
get
near
out of there.
He's not near where I would be aiming.
But if it's LA, I'd be pissed, dude. Go Dodgers. Don't fucking. They better be out of town.
They can sell themselves to another city again.
Hey, that's been like what 70 years ago. Give me a
So
fucking break.
they're the beginning of what will be called basketball.
That was a good movie.
I know.
Wow.
But okay,
That's
okay,
one that I haven't seen in a long time.
memes. I know you want to defend Sargon. Come on, give me his best defense. What would you say if you were him?
Well, the best defense for something like that would to simply put yourself above it. You put Sayer above it, and then you just avoid contact. You do not engage. Here's the thing. You don't feed a Mogwai after midnight, and you don't feed trolls on the internet. He
Sargon's
violated those things.
Not eating the trolls.
He tried to be like super troll / I am also IRL, and I'll say at least he listened to Professor Peterson. He did it badly.
Ain't that the fucking
How
truth?
did I know
Maybe-
Professor Peterson would get brought into this
Well,
at some
maybe-
point?
Maybe he should just clean his room.
To be fair, that would be interesting.
Maybe he would have found a better suit in there. Sorry. Like, Sargon can't even stop talking about this suit. You think I'm going to? For fuck's sake. But no. Okay, let's talk about his in real life stuff. All right. He's been doing like what, convention center type stuff, or small little meetups where you actually have to pay to get in. It's not like what Jeff Holiday and them do, where it's all free and that they actually might even buy you a drink. He's actually charging people to come see him. I wonder what his Social Blade account looks like right now. I wonder what the drop in subscribers is at this point. And if it's actually quite big, that's going to affect his in real life stuff as well. And he's doing a fucking BBC mini documentary because he's so special right now, probably. Like, or today, because I guess it's kind of late over there. Right, Quinn? What time is it over there?
11:14.
Okay, so not right now, but earlier today he did a little mini doc. I wonder if they asked him about his suit, first off. And second, if that goes poorly, I think he's sinking even his political aspirations, if they even had a chance to begin with.
Well. Here's the thing. What is he actually trying to do? Is he trying to kind of go like the Ben Shapiro route and kind of like be like a proponent for more of conservative views and principles and stuff? Is he trying to be an activist? Is he trying to be a politician? Like, what's he actually trying to do? And oh, by the way, I heard there's a Rick Grimes Sargon meme going around there, according to Zero.
Yeah, I just saw that. That's why I didn't respond. I was looking in the chat. I don't know. What's the rest of the panel think? One of you British people. Hey, Jensen, can he actually make MP?
No,
Sorry.
I hope in bloody hell. Let's be honest. The guy is at best barely competent at what he does, and I would like it stressed the barely part of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I suppose he's got a good heart somewhere in there and he's trying, but sorry, no, he's not. I do not see this person becoming a member of parliament. That's my opinion.
I would have to take issue. Here's the thing. Both Sargon and I need to quit smoking. Number one, that will help both of our hearts. Number two, I did have this argument with Cabby about 6 months ago asking, so what if Sargon were to actually run and become an MEP? I thought there could have been, and there still may be a chance, potentially. But here's the thing, like if he were to kind of like try to lift himself up from the stuff of his past and continue to try to improve and get better, then there's a chance. It's just if you're going to continue to engage in silly things, and especially if you're in the EU and you're just going to start saying, oh, hey, you seem to be grooming folks. You seem to be grooming folks. It's just you are inferring a certain connotation there. I understand he's like, well, I don't mean he's a pedophile. And it's like, yeah, you're saying that to kind of cover your ass.
Well, no.
But it's like,
Well, real quick, to interrupt, that's bullshit because of all the grooming gangs going on in the UK right fucking now. So you can't fucking tell me that Sargon doesn't know what he's goddamn insinuating. Don't fucking give me that bullshit.
oh,
Like,
he absolutely
he-
is. That's the
yeah.
thing. It's like he gave that little connotation to try to eke out of it, but I think most folks that were watching him, they got what he was saying there. See, like, if he could avoid doing this stuff, and if he could have done this over the past 6 months, I think he could have a better shot. But it's just, if you built your platform on basically just taking the piss out of people and kind of being a shitlord, it's like, to convert that while you're still actively doing that, I don't know if that's possible, man.
It's taking him way too long to convert off of that. Way too long.
He's kind of trying to take the Donald Trump route. The only problem is, it's like, you're not a billionaire, and Donald Trump also had 30 years of saying kind of crazy shit. So
Sargon's not nearly as lovable as Donald Trump. I don't see how he could pull that off.
No. Here's the thing. Sargon does have benefits and everything, and let's face it, I think most everyone here has actually watched some of his content, and to be fair, I learned what an ad hominem attack was from Sargon, so I got to give the guy credit where credit's due.
Well, no, and I will give him credit. When I first started really watching YouTube a lot, I actually really liked his content. But now he's gotten smug, boring, and yeah, Medicare was right with the he likes to smell his own farts joke. Like, seriously, the dude looks like one of the guys from South Park that bought a Prius.
Yeah, Barry.
He was one of the first people to come out and say, you're going to have to switch off of this attacking SJWs thing. And so what has he done since then? He just performs poorly when he's with, I guess, non-UK people. Is that what the problem is? If they're not from the UK, then he can't. He's
very good at basically explaining a point, a generalized argument when he's doing just the standard scripted videos. Like, I mean, you got to give the guy credit. He does reading, he does do research and stuff to a decent extent, usually. And it's just when he gets into the live banter and stuff with folks that don't necessarily agree with him. If he was with folks that tend to agree with him, he usually does pretty well. But it's just, as soon as somebody has certain points and they start kind of attacking his character, I feel like he's kind of letting it get to him too much.
Well, no, and let's not forget, this is the same guy who accidentally showed a message from his own wife bitching at him because he keeps hitting on trannies. I mean,
what?
Dude.
That's just fucking up, and everybody does shit like that once in a while.
No, not everybody hits on trannies. God damn it.
Depends on which ones.
Whoa, I'm surprised you're that's a shocker. I'm going to need a second. Someone else to talk. Okay, voice of one. What? Oh, Tema, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm busy shilling right now, so I haven't been able to fully listen. I lost our place. We were talking about optics and what Sargon has been failing at. Or are we talking about the fact that Sargon is probably not going to be able to come back for this other than to do Britain-based politics? His international poll is probably decreasing at this point. I think he peaked like 3 years ago internationally.
Well, that's a good point, though. I mean, he joined UKIP, right? Why doesn't he sink his teeth into that some more?
That's where I think he's focusing anyway.
Yeah, that's what he did today is... Well, and no, okay. Why exactly do you start all this bullshit the day before you're scheduled to meet up with BBC reporters and do a quote-unquote mini documentary? So what was it? Like, what is this supposed to be, like 10 or 15 minutes? I don't know. That's probably what a mini doc is, pretty much, because the normal documentary is an hour to 2 hours. Jensen or Voice, one of you guys from Britain, would you start this bullshit the day before the fucking BBC of all people are coming to interview you?
Actually, it depends on what his why he was doing it. Funnily enough, it's got his name out there. It's got people knowing who he is. So in basics, it wasn't a bad idea. The problem is it's not necessarily going to work the way he hopes it would. Yes, people know who he is now, and I know it could be argued that loads of people know who he is. He's got all of these followers. In all fairness, that's pretty much absolutely bugger all in comparison to what most people No. If you actually ask most normal people out on the street, do you know who this guy is? They're probably going to look at you and like, who? No, sorry, mate. Whereas now his name is actually more out in the public eye
Sure.
and it's getting attention. The question is it the right kind of attention?
Well, they say, you know, no publicity is really the only bad publicity. So, you know, even when your name's out there like OJ's for murder, you know, that's better, I guess, supposedly.
Well,
I don't
it
think
worked
so.
it worked for Donald Trump.
Yeah, but that was different, and Donald Trump wasn't a YouTuber. Medicare made a point that YouTubers really have no business running for office. We aren't that important, and I kind of tend to sort of agree with him. I mean, I did get a letter in the mail from the Libertarian Party asking me to run. I turned them down, but I thought about it. But Medicare had a point there. What do you guys think?
That's bullshit. Anybody who has any interest in politics should run because they're the people that are nose deep in it. Maybe they're wrong about something. Maybe, you know, whatever. But, you know, that's better than the regular Joe who's just looking at headlines on his fucking phone, you know, while he's walking to the bus. You know, someone who has no concept and is still, you know, actually reading CNN and taking what they say at face value. I mean, I think a YouTuber is more suited to try running. And I would probably, because you can go back and look at their catalog over what they said and how they've developed over the years. You know, you can ping them in real time for their, you know, their positions. I think that's complete bullshit from Medicare's, from what Medicare has to say about it.
That kind of goes along with what Porpoiseful was saying. National Libertarian. He was saying last night, he commented on it. It's like, he's like, one of the few places I actually disagree with Medicare is just like, I feel like anybody that has any type of platform or anything, there is influence. I mean, look at like when PewDiePie was making like saying like different things that folks fucking hated and shit like that. Like there was a freaking article about it and then you saw different things happening. Like that was actual influence. Was it good influence? No. But here's the thing, it does have an impact. But I mean, we do often tend to see bad news and remember bad news as opposed to good news. We seem to forget that, oh, hey, we're ahead of schedule for lifting half of the world out of poverty. Yeah, that's kind of a good thing. But you know what? You don't see it all over the papers and everything. You see all the terrible things that are happening across the world. And a lot of times folks put their own spin on it. Just that's human nature.
Because bad news makes interesting news.
But at the same token, is it really the responsibility of the person providing the information or offering the entertainment to worry about what the influence is? Isn't that really more on the individual taking in the entertainment or the information? I mean, like...
the problem we're running into, it's just news has kind of gone the way of professional wrestling in a way. It went from a sport to sports entertainment, and now news has gone from news to news entertainment, and it falls along a very broad spectrum and stuff. I mean, you'll get things like the Greg Gutfeld show or the former show known as the Redeye, all the way to the Alex Joneses folks who now seem to exist in their own little corner of the internet.
Which kind of reminds me of, well, that kind of reminds me of Quinn's little theory on our First Amendment and the freedom of the press.
Oh, that, yes.
What is that?
It's not against... Oh, go ahead.
All I was going to say, that has been argued down by a lot of people, so I don't necessarily think you want to bring that one up. My argument
That's why I brought it up.
Of course you did. My argument was, if freedom of press rule actually applies and anybody can actually be part of the media by reporting pretty much anything, that means, and this is where it goes a bit tits up, people are probably going to tear this to pieces at this point, but if anybody can be considered a member of the media and your First Amendment grants the media the right to say whatever the hell they want without any repercussions, then theoretically there should be no such law of Oh crap! What's the word? I've forgotten the word.
Perjury.
Perjury. That's the boy. Thank you. There should be no such thing as perjury because, after all, if you can claim you're a member of the media, your First Amendment right gives you the right to lie.
Okay.
No.
Hold on.
Your
Actually, yes, it does.
fundamental.
He's right. He's fundamentally absolutely correct, memes.
Oh crap!
No, the
He's fundamentally
fundamental
absolutely correct.
problem with
However,
that.
it can only be taken to a certain point before you have to put in a limitation because of the nature of human beings. That's why we have libel and slander laws to countermand that.
Quinn, how dare you bring in your conspiracy to this? Because at this point, I believe there was an MEP arguing that folks that publish things onto such platforms as YouTube and the Twitters and the other social media sites and everything, that apparently there are high standards for the media, and we should hold these publishers to the same high standards. So inadvertently, if these articles pass in the EU and these platforms end up adopting those same standards, inadvertently, technically, Quinn's conspiracy may come to fruition within the United States.
I'm sorry if I've broken the world. I apologize now. That wasn't actually my plan.
But no, but he's absolutely correct. You can't have a law against lying. Where you have to kind of work out the balance is you use the non-aggression principle kind of mentality where as long as whatever you're saying doesn't cause somebody to lose money or get attacked, you don't do anything about it.
Right.
Wait, hold on.
It
Or
can't
like physically like assaulted or something like that, not like verbally attacked, whatever. No, I'm talking about like physical.
It can't rise to the incitement of libel or slander or incitement. That would be where the First Amendment would end. Okay.
Yes.
So the fundamental premise that was put out that the media gets carte blanche is in fact incorrect. The whole problem with the media today is that they have gone to that level, and that is improper. But there's no one to check them. There's no one to like fine them over it because, I mean, that's just the way the system works. Instead, it's like they're these huge corporate entities, and they can just pay off their competition or muscle them out or censor them offline, like completely kick them off the internet.
Well, then, would what Sargon did when he implied that fucking Medicare was a fucking pedo, wouldn't that be slander?
We brought in MC.
Wouldn't that be slander, and he would be liable for something on that?
Yes, unless he provided actual evidence to back that up, to actually make some kind of substantial claim, then yeah, that's slander.
If Elon Musk is going to get sued over calling a gentleman and making allegations that he's a pedo on the Twitter, I mean, if it's a social media platform and he says it, and it's unfortunately for Sargon, it's not like it's a single occurrence. He said it how many times within that stream?
Yeah, no, and he literally at one point goes, "I'm not saying he's a groomer, but I'm saying he's a groomer." Okay, you just fucked yourself, dude. Right there.
No, well, his out. In order to actually do that, you would actually need to bring legal charges, which would involve Jim essentially revealing all his personal information and actually filing an actual lawsuit. In some ways, it almost seemed like he was baiting him to do that. I don't know.
The problem with all that is exactly what Memes was saying, which is if you bring in a lawsuit, right, then you've got to prove several different things. All right, in the United States, and one of those things is you have to prove intent. Okay, and let's be perfectly honest here. That's not so easy to prove, especially if you come back and says I was just telling a joke about a celebrity.
I couldn't hear any of that.
Yeah, MC, start over. Vash, can you move the fan a little bit? I get it; it's hot over there, but that we couldn't hear anything over that.
No, the thing is you have to prove intent, all right, and you're going to have to prove that Sargon's intent wasn't an attempt at comedy, all right, against a celebrity. Because, and this is why I started with questions way back in the day when we first started this. What makes somebody a celebrity? Would you say Sargon is a celebrity? Would you say that Medicare are celebrities? Because as soon as you make that distinction, and the reason I bring that distinction up is because that distinction has been applied in U.S. courts, right? So if you come back and say that they're a celebrity, there's certain rules, there's certain changes to rules now that have to be put in place, because otherwise you run into things like, look, I was just telling a joke. All right, we'll use the Dankulix. All right, I was just telling a joke, and if he says I was just making a joke at Medicur's expense, and maybe I carried it too far, but it's a joke, and therefore I'm sorry, then how are you even going to be able to bring a lawsuit? If he doesn't bring a lawsuit, all right, then it's just going to allow it to stand.
Well, no, and does Sargon really need another lawsuit? Didn't he already get sued?
Well, he's going through one right now, but that's a case of what was it?
Copyright.
Yeah, copyright, saying that he unfairly copyrighted some material when he was making a takedown video, basically.
I think that's an interesting thing about the law, right? Because if you're trying to suss out like what constitutes a celebrity, I mean, there's a very big difference between Mad Dodge and Sargon in terms of what you could consider a quote-unquote celebrity.
Well, celebrity, I believe, is like, okay, whenever Sargon started, he wasn't a celebrity. But what the things that he's went through and the amount of attention that he has had, and once again, sorry about me coming in. I thought it was muted. But the thing is it's all of whenever the attention spotlight, so to speak, gravitates towards you, then you have to act a certain way. And the thing is if you're a content creator, you don't know when that spotlight's going to hit you. But
how many followers does a celebrity make?
Well, I mean, how many followers? I've always stated there are three types of power in this world. There's the power of money, there's the power of position, and then there's the power of influence. Now, if somebody is a very influential person, which everyone here, I believe, can attest that Sargon is rather influential for what he is. And
Well, no, and I would add, though, real quick, sorry to cut you off, but he's also doing venues now. So, yes, I would put him in the celebrity category. He's selling tickets. It's almost like a stand-up comedian. Are stand-up comedians celebrities? The answer is yes.
I bet that asshole charges for autographs.
Well, to be fair, he is renting out theaters and stuff, so that does cost.
If you have so many people asking for your autograph, then at that point it's kind of acceptable to say that. But if you're sitting there charging like the way Ray Comfort charges for his fucking shitty banana videos,
is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still doing it. I mean, awesome. I just got done watching Bible Reloaded's new video on him, and holy shit, the dude just doesn't get it that bananas were fucking man-made.
Dude, yeah, that guy's sort of like Shoe Nice. I love Shoe Nice.
What's up, Big Fat Brian? How are you doing?
Pretty good. Shoe Nice is the greatest dumpster fire there ever was.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if you're okay, one of the issues that I personally had with Sargon, and this is coming from a person that actually watched his earlier videos and even took notes on it as if the guy was a college professor. The way that one of the things is his inconsistency of whenever he says, "I've always been like this." Once you say, "I've always been like this," and you have like 3 other videos of you being an entire 180 from where you were, and then you're like, "Oh, well, I've always been like this," aside from these videos that I have on my channel that says otherwise.
Well, it's kind of like we were talking about a little bit earlier. It's just you actually have a catalog of what a person has put out. So as far as politics go, you could technically refer to that. And I kind of always wondered about that a little bit. I'm like, oh, why do these folks like not really a big fan of Sargon? And I'd listened to one of his videos, and then all of a sudden, one of his videos from way back in the day came up. And he was saying very not so nice things about, I believe, a Miss Sarkeesian. And you can just hear it in his voice. He's just like, "No, Anita." And he's just like completely ragging on her and stuff. And I'm just like, I kind of get it now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still say feminists don't fuck with my video games, but still.
No, that's a different topic. But actually, Cass Warfox actually brings up a big interesting point in the chat. He's like, the problem is you completing real life celebrity status with the internet celebrity status, and they're not the same thing. At what point does the internet become real life and real life become the internet? Because it's hard to say. A lot of folks treat the internet still as the Wild West.
Let's take a look at let's take a look at Markiplier. Markiplier is a very, I mean, yeah, sure, he might be personally an asshole from what I hear. I don't
He's
really.
a lovely lesbian.
I don't really know about that. But what I'm saying is, like, Markiplier, he started out on YouTube. Now he has comedy stand-up. Now he also goes to conventions and everything else. Whenever you are a star at a convention, I would say that you might not be like high-level Hollywood status celebrity, but your words still hold weight, and thus you still are. You might be a small-time celebrity, but you're still a celebrity.
Well, yeah, and don't people gather outside fucking dumbass Jake Paul's house or whatever? Like, I mean, that's celebrity status, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people start shooting at YouTubers.
This is true.
Yeah, but you keep ducking memes.
Yeah, hey.
We've missed you, memes. We've missed you, just with every bullet.
I actually had a question for the people that live in the EU right now, or well, mostly England. So Jacob Rees-Mogg, isn't he like a shit poster?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I think Nigel Farage might be.
And Nigel Farage, yeah. I would say probably both. I don't know much about Boris Johnson. I don't know if he does anything like that or if it's just... Because I know that the left makes fun of him as though he's dumb, and then the right is like, oh, he's our savior. And I don't know anything about him, though. So is he also a shit poster or no?
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
all right, all I'll say about Boris Johnson is, as much as people like to think of him as a complete idiot with barely one brain cell to rub together, he's not as stupid as people think he is. He's actually in control of his own persona. Now, whether he's picked the right persona or not is a personal choice, but he's not the idiot that people like to think he is.
Well, no, actually, though, bringing up Boris is a good point. Look at Boris. He doesn't even comb his goddamn hair. Don't you think that gives Sargon kind of a chance in England? I mean,
there are a couple of MPs that have said, you know, as bad or worse things. So
Yeah, when I see Boris Johnson, I kind of look at it. It's like a lot of folks think of him as like Donald Trump, except he has the ability to orate like President Obama.
Oh, I just wanted to say, Brian, I've been checking out your cooking videos. Thanks, man.
Oh, awesome.
Can you do something on Alfredo sauce? Because I have not been able to do that right.
Yeah, I can do that. Not a big deal.
Sweet.
It might be a little while because I don't have a kitchen right now, but
yeah, no worries.
Oh, the Shepherd historian disagrees with us. He definitely sees Sargon winning an election.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that, you know, maybe we're putting a little bit too much emphasis on the importance of shit posting on the internet here, because it seems like a lot of your politicians have actually also done that.
Well,
Yeah.
the question still remains: what's the real reach of YouTube? What's the real reach of this medium?
What is the real reach of the internet? That's the counter question that I would have for that.
They say that almost everybody uses the internet for about at least 60% of their day, whether it be their cell phone, their PC, their laptop, what have you.
Well, isn't that what helped start the Arab Spring?
I believe
No.
so.
Wasn't there a guy in Tunisia, a fruit vendor, that self-immolated himself and got passed all around, and then people just said, fuck it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, no, and before we get sidetracked on Arab Spring, because MC will go the fuck off, Brian,
We
you
really
said
don't need him going off.
you said that
Again.
you had a few things that Medicare did a little bit wrong in his video yesterday in Discord when we were talking. I never got to hear what really you thought about that. So, do you want to give your thoughts on the stream?
Oh, well, I mean, just so everyone knows, I'm not really defending Sargon. He pretty shitted up that one. So, as for Medicare, I mean, he's really charismatic, but there's not a whole lot of facts in there. You're sort of one side's implying one thing, and then the other side just says no, and that's it. If you're going to listen and believe to one side, you have to listen and believe to the other side. I'm sorry,
But we don't like those people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's not. When I look at something like the live stream that Medicare did and Sargon did, and all the successive videos that Sargon did, and the like drama fighting prior to that, where like the Ralph Retort had, I want to say, 8 videos with Sargon in the thumbnail, and then 2 months prior to that had like a couple of streams where he's like, Sargon won't come on my show. When I see things like that, I just I sort of tune out, because it's like neither person here has the higher moral ground, so it's just gonna be like, you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit,
But
guys, you both are hideous. It's okay.
hey, capitalism.
Brian, you just think he's charismatic because you like his voice.
Well, I think he actually has some good, jokes as well. That's why, I mean, let's take what kind of content does Medicare come out with? Sometimes it's social commentary on current events, and sometimes it's video making fun of retards on the internet. So, I mean, I'll be honest, if it was anyone else, I probably wouldn't be watching a video making fun of retards on the internet.
Yeah, you would.
No, not really.
Well, no, and that's a good point, though, because he is pretty charismatic. I mean, that joke, like, he took the pedo thing and went, oh, yeah, he made fun of, the David Bowie song at the beginning. And he's like, oh, yeah, all the cool kids listen to David Bowie when I'm driving my van around the mall parking lot hunting kids. They're talking about David Bowie. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, that was good.
Well, he can do banter, and isn't that what he really says about a lot of stuff? It's just like when you hear folks saying things on the internet and you don't like them, there's a certain level of banter that, as long as you can accept it, and I forget who said it. What was it, Cabby or something said yesterday? It's like, if Sargon just wanted to put this all to bed, all he should have done was grab either an Applebee's hat or pin, put it on, make fun of himself for like 2-3 minutes. He takes the piss out of himself, and then everyone loses interest.
Oh, yeah. No. I totally agree with you. I honestly, the cringiest thing he could do was what he did, hands down. Basically, if he had that live stream sitting up for 2 days and it just said, hello, Medicare, and he starts it up and he's in his Applebee's uniform and was like, hey, I'm here to take your order. What's going on? Oh, I see you faggots have been talking about me for 2 months straight. Well, sorry. I guess you're my ex-girlfriend. See you later. Like he's
saying there, he goes like, welcome to Applebee's. I'm Sargon, here to take your order.
Yeah, like that would have been great. But
or like
I instantly just got a good burger thing stuck in my head.
Just be like saying something like I'm like, you could do like even my plumber joke. Hey, are you guys plumbers? Why? Oh, you just seem to love bringing up old shit. Like, I mean, use something like that. You don't have to go, no, don't be doing that.
Yeah, and I don't know, when you come to an argument that's solely about the sentiment of the crowd, right? And you start bringing like all of these weird little facts that you've gay-opt your way into having, like that's cringy as fuck, man. That is the most cringe ever. Like nobody cares.
No. Well, here's the thing. We got to give Sargon credit, because remember, he did upload that video that he posted after Jim's video, and he had uploaded that a number of days before. Basically, Jim calling out saying folks are measuring themselves by their subscriber numbers, and this is how they're judging themselves. And you know what? That would actually be a pretty good response had he not then made the Teal Deer video after saying, remember their small channels and everything. It's like, dude.
Oh yeah, no.
Stop, please.
That's
quite literally killed your own argument at that point.
Yes.
Yep.
He completely just negated everything he had done prior with those actions. He just everything.
You
he
literally shot yourself in the knee.
Yes, he literally did. He like it figuratively. He did. He shot himself in the foot. This was the dumbest thing he could have done. It really was.
Do I think this will be a hindrance on, let's say, Sargon for the future? Probably not too much.
No.
This is a blip, comparatively.
He's got enough. Oh, go ahead, Ems.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like you can look at both the Social Blade of Medicare and Sargon, and stuff like this actually lost them both subs.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean, it was a huge dick measuring contest, really.
Yep. So it turns a lot of people off, especially if you're just here to watch somebody make fun of a retard or watch a political video where they make fun of retards.
That is a very interesting observation, because actually one of the things that I noticed is if you go down in each video, at least after Sargon did his stream, a lot of the comments were just like, dude, oh, either you're owned, or Sargon, I like your stuff, but cut this drama shit out. And when he actually came out with This Week in Stupid, I actually scrolled through a lot of the initial comments, and a lot of the initial comments were talking about the topic, because let's face it, a lot of folks, they just really listen to him for that because they like that particular series, and maybe they're not following the drama.
Mm-hmm. Well, live streaming is
I personally, go ahead, Timo. Sorry.
I was going to say live streaming is a niche. Really. Yeah. It really is. It's a niche. It's produced videos is most commonly what people watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And like like I personally say that the clown needs to come back to YouTube. Colossal is crazy. If you're listening, man, everything's going to shit. You need to slap some of these people back into the right mindset.
Oh, did you see who's releasing videos again? Harmful Opinions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I'm saying that the clown needs to come back. He really does. Take a vacation from your factory. I know. I love factory work as much as the next person, but come on, man. Colossal, we need you in these times of everyone being shitlordian dick measurers. I was a huge fan of Colossal.
But no, I do think, though, Sargon made a lot of accusations that he couldn't back up. On the one thing, though, that still has me fucking curious is I don't think Medicare's defense of that that audio bite that Sargon used, I don't think that's necessarily that good. I mean, you were talking to a minor. I don't even talk to minors on the internet at all. Like, you just don't do it. There's none in my server. The youngest person I think is 19. Like, no, you just don't do it. And then you're recording it and shit. Like, it was really fucking cringy, and really, it was kind of creepy.
You got to be careful, especially if you're dealing with anyone under the age of 18. I kind of think that may have been a hangout, kind of like what we're doing now. So it may have just kind of been out there. I mean, still to actively engage in that. I mean, yeah, you can question that all day long, especially with what they were kind of doing. You're fucking around with like a 14-year-old kid, man.
Yeah.
It's one thing to tell a kid, hey, you're too young to be in this scene and you need to go somewhere else because this is not a good place for you. It's another to like hang out and talk to the kids.
Yeah, that's what we do. This is not going to be a good place for you. Please leave.
Yeah, goodbye. There's the door. I don't know. It was really kind of weird, but I still don't think that's evidence of anything. I'm not accusing Medicare of anything at all. I'm just saying that was cringy. It really was.
Yeah, and like, you know, how I personally run a gaming channel, so obviously you're going to have minors come up because, you know, it's fucking video games. But the thing is like, I've taken every precaution on doing that because it's like, yeah, sure, you can hang out, you can play games with me, You know, I don't see a point in not doing that. But at the same time, it's like, realize I'm an adult. You are a minor. Let's keep that space between us.
Well,
You can
as
play
long as
video
you're not,
games.
yeah, as long as you're not interviewing them about like their sexual proclivities and stuff like that. I mean, it's just you're gaming.
Exactly.
Oh no, everything is locked up tight. Even in his Discord, he goes, "This goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here,"
Yeah.
and everything is privatized. If it's not safe, it goes in this section, and
Yeah.
it's locked.
I am very, very adamant about making sure that my not safe for work does not go to the minors that are on my Discord.
Good dragon.
I'm a Dargon, not a
absolutely.
dragon.
No, and I didn't want to drag because I don't even like this topic. I have kids. I don't even like the topic. It's just
And I mean,
that was
No,
was
he was just
Sargon's.
making a point.
No, but that was Sargon's main point. His main accusation was, look at this. So, and I don't think Medicare went through it quite as well. I mean, okay, you're recording him because you think he's actually 19 and you're trying to get him arrested, I guess, but you didn't show any proof, and Sargon actually had proof. I don't know.
and also that's, if I'm correct, that's also exploiting.
Yeah, if they're
Which-
underage, that's exploitation.
Well,
I
let
mean-
me ask a different question. All right, and it's somewhat rhetorical. Would Sargon have ever brought this up if he hadn't been attacked?
Probably not.
Okay, so then what's his real beef?
You're saying that this is whataboutery?
Yeah, my point here is okay. If you're saying that this is an issue of possible pedophilia, all right, then okay, that's fine. Are you one of these people who's looking out for pedophilia? I mean, to be honest, the community, when I use that term very loosely, right, has done a pretty good job of policing its own. When they see something that's untold, they tend to call it out immediately.
I think you're okay. So Sargon uses the same tactics as somebody who has read multiple war style books like Sun Tzu. You know, and that was so funny that I thought that people understood that he was actually making fun of him for the way he was fighting the battle, because that's actually like straight out of I can't remember which book that is, but to imply, because he never actually said that, to imply that somebody is something that is not favorable or socially acceptable and poison the well, right in the beginning of his video, it's like that's a form of attack that is disingenuous, but is a tactic that a lot of people use.
No, I realize that, right? But my point here is generally, okay, how much credence are we really going to give, in this case, to the fact that Medicare, does anybody, let me change the question. Does anybody really think that Medicare is a pedo?
No, I don't. I just thought that was cringy as fuck. That's all I was pointing out. Nope,
Okay.
I don't think
So, and I'm on the same boat. Now, I don't watch Medicare all that much. I watch Sargon a little bit more, but not all that much either, right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, so basically what you're seeing shit being thrown back and forth between these two, which goes then to my next question: is this just a celebrity slap fight?
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
This
It's a dick
100%
measuring
was
contest.
This was entirely a this was dick measuring contest.
Wait.
Through and through, this was a dick measuring contest.
So we've reverted back to Donald Trump versus Rosie O'Donnell on Twitter,
Well,
except
what
on
do you mean
YouTube.
we're reverting back?
Yeah,
to
pretty
that?
much.
You kind of forget about the whole freaking, as if this is new. Billie Jean King versus what's his name? That idiot.
MC,
Bobby
I
Riggs,
want to believe the world is a better place than it maybe is.
It doesn't take much to click a channel. The Bobby Riggs thing. Come on.
Memes.
It's the same
Even
crap
you
that's
know
always
better.
been going on.
Exactly.
Doesn't make it any less fun to talk about. I mean,
well, hey, it gets people's juices going. It is the topic du jour. I'm not going to deny that. All right, it does get views, but it's nothing more than that. I mean, it's nothing more than acting.
Real quick though, out of the chat, Cass Warfox says, since Sargon claims to be someone of high moral standard, the tactics he employs should hurt his reputation worse. You can't claim to be a moral arbiter and then use disingenuous tactics.
Yeah, that's been kind of a complaint.
When has that effectively hurt somebody?
Yeah.
No, I'm not disagreeing with Cass in this case, but that portion of the ship sailed a long time ago.
Well, that sounds like politics.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly does. Also, I don't know. Has Sargon claimed to be a moral arbiter?
Sort of. He's, you know.
See, there we go.
If he hasn't said it directly, it's heavily implied.
You're gonna go with an implicate. I'm just saying, man. There's a lot here.
I remember him saying that he was an asshole.
Yeah, I do remember that, and a shitlord. So I mean, I don't know about moral arbiter.
But how can you be a shitlord and not banned?
He does band all the time.
Yeah.
Have you watched his gaming shit? It is boring as fuck. Like,
he doesn't bant on the fly well. He has to stop and think for a while and like plan it all out and everything, you know.
I never said he was good at it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have, you know, he wants to be a shitlord, but it seems like he doesn't. That would be like me. Oh, I'm gonna go try to bant with Medicare. Fuck that, dude.
Oh no, are we just all disappointed because Sargon is not living up to our individual expectations? Because
no, he's not living up to the hype he's pumped for himself. I don't have any expectation of the guy, but if you're going to go out there and talk about being the leader of a political movement and this, that, and everything else, and you know, Sarkeesian hates you more than any other living creature on the planet, kind of deal, you need to back that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to have something to go against that, and it seems that all he has is prepared speeches.
No, I hear you, but the reason why I say that is a lot of time. I mean, let's face it, we like to idealize different people, have them fulfill certain archetypes and everything. And if somebody is on the YouTubes and they happen to be very good at producing videos, to have them also be good at, well, hey, to have the, hey, you gotta try to be hip with the kiddos today,
man,
right?
You're trying to be old like me. God, that's something I'd say, damn it.
Hey, I've been saying back in the day for a long time, MC. It's all right. I've been told by my former recruiter that I did not heed the words of that I was 17 going on 30. But that's another story in and of itself. Well, here's the thing. To expect one person to be the best at making videos, to be the best at individual banter, to be the best at memeing, to be the best at giving political speeches, to be the best at everything, dude, like none of us are the almighty. So it's just kind of like with any politician, to expect them to be the best speech giver, the best legislator, the best campaigner and stuff. Dude, you're asking something nearly impossible. The only thing we can get is what we have on this planet.
Oh, I agree. I'm not expecting anything great from Sargon myself. I look at him and see, yeah, there's a guy who's starting to buy his own hype. I like the arguments, and This Week in Stupid was a very entertaining show to me. Other than that, I've never had much use for Sargon. I've never believed that he was the great paragon of interesting that everybody made him out to be.
Well, yeah,
too big for his own britches.
Yes.
A lot of people have pointed out that he has been wrong in many cases. For instance, Aiden Paladin did about a year ago, and
So
you know, well, so
great.
Does anyone anyone watch not what's his name, Dr. Layman?
You guys didn't even watch what I did, my anti-Sargon comment.
Well, no, I watched
some bastards.
I watched Dr. Layman. He's pretty good.
Okay, you know the video he does that's about the free market of ideas is not free.
I did a call out on that video.
Well, no, that's a very good video, and it was actually aimed at Sargon.
Oh, it was?
And nobody noticed. Nobody noticed at all.
I just called the premise out as being inaccurate. I did
Well,
like the video. I just called the premises.
The premise
Well-
is accurate though because there's persuasion, and persuasion affects logic.
Well, okay, yes, persuasion does, but you're talking about the marketplace of ideas. The marketplace of ideas was never meant to be applied in a macro sense. It was meant to be done on the individual level. That's the only way a marketplace truly succeeds.
Yeah, but it's solely applied on the macro sense because of the way our media works. So,
Well, no, and I'm trying to watch the chat better. They just called me out. So the Shepherd
fast as
historian.
Fuck right now, I can't keep up with it.
Shepherd historian said something pretty funny. Hang with the liberalists, get fleas. He should know. He's a German Shepherd. So that's pretty good.
Oh, that's an ad hom with a canine twist right there.
I also wouldn't want to point something else out here, but IBS kind of be dead, and liberalists actually have, like groups and stuff. They actually do things politically, so I don't know what to tell you, man.
The liberalist wing of UKIP, apparently.
Yeah.
And as much as we've been shitting on Sargon, I do got to kind of defend the guy because I do feel bad right now. To be fair, if it was not for him,
why in the hell would you feel bad?
I gotta give
Friggin'
credit where
SJW.
credit's due, MC. Hey, you can say all the acronyms
That was a
you
wee
want.
bit. That was a wee bit harsh, MC.
It's all right. Every time MC sees me in the chat, he gets triggered more and more, and needs to throw more banter out there. But it's okay because I still love him. But here's the thing with Sargon: if it wasn't for him, man, I wouldn't have known about that little free speech rally that was going on near me over in good old frickin' Concord, Massachusetts, and stuff. I went there. Hey, I grabbed a mic. I had my few words and stuff like that. And I probably wouldn't have known about it if he didn't put out that video. So you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, he is bringing attention to things, even if there are only like 60 or so people there for the rally. I mean, it is what it is.
But okay, now that I'm not saying not to do those things. I'm saying that Sargon has been hyped to the point that Sargon shouldn't have been hyped to. He has forgotten his humility. He's pulling kind of a Milo out of his ass right now.
He's forgotten the face of his father.
Well, yeah. He's flying too close to the sun. And then once again, actually, the Shepherd historian.
Wings burn or
yeah, no, the Shepherd historian's actually dropping some good ones in here. His Gamergate work was good. I agree. That's when I stared watching him. Actually,
Yeah.
So I mean,
I was watching.
He builds
all
an
the
excellent
Gamergate shit
argument.
happening.
He's good at giving influence. The thing is, he's just not good at bants. And if he's going to be pissed at somebody, he needs to let somebody else do that for him.
Well,
Yeah.
the first problem that he has is, quite frankly, is he doesn't have a good memory. Okay, and in order to be a good debater, okay, you can't go in and not have a good memory. You can't.
True.
Okay?
I beg to differ. Because
No,
I
you-
don't have a good memory and I bant with you all the time.
Yes, to a point, but you and I agree a lot. We don't disagree on a whole lot of things.
Yeah, it's having memory problems and being successful at debate is
You know,
a double. It's very difficult.
Being able to recall facts and figures when you're in a debate is something entirely different than, when you're trying to create a point and talk about a specific point, and being able to pivot from that point when somebody comes back with a repost saying, okay, here's where your argument falls apart. You have to be able to do that. And he doesn't have that kind of recall. Okay, it's not a negative. It's just something. It's just a part of his personality. He doesn't ever think about the recall of his things. His analysis videos, right, tend to be very good and generally are enjoyable to watch for the most part, right? And he does put in the work from a research standpoint, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to be somebody that can banter, all right? Especially when you're bantering in a contested type of a format. That's an entire different structure.
Well, as long as you have access to Google and/or an earpiece and a producer, you're fine.
Okay, that isn't you personally. Then that's a setup for CNN.
Exactly.
or the David Crowder
We're talking. Yeah, I was gonna say we're talking presidential debates now. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm not necessarily talking presidential debate. In any kind of debate structure, personally, I dislike the format for the presidential type of debate.
I do too.
I think it'd be fun if they let him go for longer. They cut him off and they have that stupid, annoying fucking buzzer. But no, yeah, I know I could turn on slow mode, but I try not to do that, and I usually don't have to do that. But
Why?
I guess if the channel keeps growing, I can fucking start doing that.
We're
But,
not at that
It's
level
not
yet.
going that
But-
fast, man.
No,
I
it's
know,
not going
exactly.
fast at all.
It was
But
going
no,
fast earlier.
Yeah, it
You
was.
mean when
it
all
was
that
going-
furry shit was going on?
Yeah.
What?
What
but
about furries?
but,
Not in this Christian neighborhood.
but no, let's not forget who Sargon really is. He's a leftist. He would be a Democrat if he lived in the United States. That's the truth. He wouldn't be a libertarian. This liberalist term is kinda-
he's not a genuine leftist. He's more center left.
But he would
Yeah.
be a centrist. He just can't stand the term centrist, is what it is.
Yes.
What? Wait, hold on a second. Like, here's the thing with Sargon. Didn't he initially say like his criticism was to like help the left because he is part of the left? Like, doesn't he want to
wants
actually
univ-
help
he
heal
wants
the
universal
issues?
health. He wants universal health care. He how are you going to pay for that exactly? I think he would be a Democrat. I would argue.
There's already the
argue with
NHS in
him.
the UK.
Exactly, and he's a fan of it. If he's elected, he wouldn't try and reverse it. He wouldn't try to go to a more private system. He likes it. So,
Yeah, but
if
he
was
likes
in the
things
US
that there are things that he likes that, and again, where my shitty memory comes into play, that the left disagrees with him vehemently on.
only on
It's just free
social issues.
speech. It's free speech and stuff like that. It's
No, I mean, there's a lot of things, but I think that you probably should separate out the left and progressive left because there's a lot of things that even people on the left don't agree with. I'm slightly left, to be honest, and I really don't agree with a lot of what's going on over there. In fact, I remember when Democrats used to be the party of the small company, the mom and pop companies and everything, and
When was that actually?
That was the 90s and early
No,
2000s.
it wasn't, and that's the
That-
problem.
on the
that
West
was when
Coast.
we
It
grow
was
up in what we remember.
No,
on the
was-
West
it
Coast.
was
That
a-
was
I'm telling you
absolutely
that
what
all
it
that
was.
really was a
It
talking
was
point.
Here, I was here watching it. You know, the West
Yeah.
Coast. The Democrats were all about small business. They
Yes,
talked
they were.
about small
They-
business all the time. It was
They talked about it. What did they actually do?
it does. We aren't talking about what they did. We're talking about the optics.
Well, the
We're talking
optic-wise,
about the
I will agree
parties
with you.
and-
Also,
We're talking about the parties. We aren't talking about the people in the parties. We're talking about the parties and how they were viewed.
yeah, and also you're sort of you're going back in time and saying, well, they did all this stuff, but there wasn't, like MySpace was a thing back then. There was no Twitter. There was no, Facebook. You couldn't be like, hey, wait a sec, look at this. It was basically if you didn't watch that news broadcast at that specific time, then you never saw anything about it.
To a point, you're
Well-
right. I
well,
would agree with you
real
that
quick,
you're right. But
MC,
there were
I know you're
ways of
gonna rant.
learning what was really going on.
I know you're going to rant, but I already got called out by the chat. So, the Shepherd historian said, "Notice the alt-right never debated anything more left than Sargon. He is the only conversable, approachable person on the left." And I think
Yeah.
that's a really good point.
Sure.
He's dropping some fucking truth bombs in the chat.
Now let me ask you this: with the advent of cut you off, sorry. With the advent of social media, has that what really has been what's polarized us even more and driven us further apart?
No,
There is a comment in chat, Cass Warfox. The problem with separating leftists from the progressives is that you're ignoring the fact that both sides agree with each other in terms of philosophy, but they disagree in terms of execution. That is inaccurate. They do not believe the same thing in terms of philosophy either. Like
Not all.
no, not even half, man. Not even half. Like,
They're all
progressives-
socialists.
Yeah, clearly, all leftists are socialists.
No, yeah, there has to be some blue dog Democrats left. Where are they? Why won't they stand up and say something? And did they all fall in line to vote for
According to
Hillary? Or
Hillary
is that why
Clinton,
Trump
she says that
won?
she's a Democrat and not a socialist.
Democratic socialist, maybe.
No.
Oh,
Well-
she says the reason that she lost is because she's not a socialist.
Well, what Cass Warfox brings up, to kind of just redirect there for a moment, he does bring up a very good point there, in that a lot of the things, it's like, okay, what do we want to do? A politician. It's like, well, I believe most often they actually want to do good things. Once they actually get into the system, I believe it's very complicated. And then when you're hanging around with folks, oh, you get this done. And you know what? As soon as you start doing that, you take money for this or that. I do believe that a lot of the stuff that folks want to do, they want folks to have a good life. Okay, that's the end goal. We just disagree on the actual means of getting there.
No, that is inaccurate.
Yeah, that's inaccurate.
On not all things, but on at least a number of things,
No,
man.
Not
It's
even
inaccurate.
all.
That is the wishful thinking that you come out with. All right,
Yeah.
You want that to be the case. You want that to be how people are, but that isn't how people are. The problem has been for so long in this country, ever since the real take of mass media from the 60s, right, where the media basically became ubiquitous.
Are you
right?
shouting, or are you just close to the mic?
Well, I'm not really shouting, but I am being loud.
Oh, that's
Jesus.
MC. That's his rant.
That's just how he works.
That's actually
MC,
like
your MC, I
Really
disagree.
yell. You can hear my real yell if you watch all my videos.
No, I'll pass. It's just
Hey, no, hold on. Let's try this out. MC, I believe we agree on typically about 80% of the same stuff. The next 10% is negotiable, and then the last 10% is where we actually have our differences. Go.
I don't know if it matters or not, but I did want to hear what he had to say.
No, if you take a look at what happened in the 60s, all right, and what happened with the mainstream media, all right, one of the biggest problems was there was only three. There was the big three: ABC, CBS, and NBC. All right, and they had basically total control and monopolistic control of content, and they were relying. All three of them were relying upon us as a seeder for stories. All right, from two real news networks. Okay, and really it was only one. All right, it relied upon the Washington Post, and it relied upon the New York Times. And all their stories came from them, and they would editorialize from that standpoint.
Yeah, but all our stories right now come from the AP, the Associated Press. They control everything that comes out, pretty much. And Joshua in the chat says classical liberalism is completely different than modern liberalism. Yeah, classical liberalism, is actually what libertarians are, pretty much. And so, yeah, the term has shifted in the United States, but I believe in Europe, Jensen, the term still stands pretty much, right?
Yes, liberal over here means absolutely nothing like liberal over there. It is so different, it's almost funny. I get quite confused when I listen.
Do we really need more labels? Like, I don't like labels.
Yeah, except the liberals are the ones that are predominantly using the labels. So, it's kind of awkward with that statement, means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is, man. It's here's the thing, and like a lot of times when we're comparing things, it's like you have somebody in the UK talking about a point, and then they're arguing with somebody in the US. It's like, dude, you're comparing an apple to an orange right now. It's just like you have a democratic republic versus, constitutional republic, MD, my apologies, versus whatever the UK is right now, constitutional monarchy, I believe.
I have no idea what
constitution does the UK have.
They
The
don't
Magna
have
Carta?
one. That's not a constitution. That was a
But that's
deal
what they
amongst
call
the
it?
lords and the king. They do call it a constitutional monarchy, but it's not even a monarchy anymore at this point. The queen won't fucking do shit.
Just because a queen won't do it doesn't mean she doesn't have the power to do it. It's just like what we got going on right now. Just because Congress doesn't do something doesn't mean they don't have the power to do it.
Fair enough.
Over here, the Queen can actually just completely get rid of Parliament if she so chooses. Granted, a new Parliament will be elected. That's not the argument. But the point is, she could actually shut down the entire Tory and Labour parties with, for want of a better, a click of her fingers. She just doesn't do that.
Well, isn't it one of those things where if there's a new political party, doesn't she have to sign off or approve on it or something?
Or in other words, she has a lot more power than people think she has. Yes.
But she doesn't really.
No, she has the power. She just doesn't use it. That's the problem.
The thing is that the monarchy will use that power when the optics become right for them to use it, in their opinion. Expect it.
Yes, I agree.
But would you prefer to have the monarch actively using their power? Would that be better?
I would.
What if we were in a different situation now? What if it was viewed as bad? Oh my God, can you believe this monarch wielding this power nonstop? Because isn't that what you kind of run into?
That's because there is no perfect government. Simply put, it just does not exist. People can sit there and argue that government type A is good for this, this, and this, and government B is good for this, this, and this. The problem is there is no perfect government. And yes, monarchy is not necessarily the greatest thing, but in comparison to what we got now, I actually think it would be better.
Hey, but what about real communism?
We haven't tried it yet, man.
Yeah, we haven't tried it, man. We gotta just try real communism. I'm pretty sure it's the perfect government.
And on paper, it may look good at some points. In practical implementation over the past 80 or so years, hasn't gone so well.
Yeah, but Brian, how are you ever going to be able to cook any food? Like, that shit'll suck.
Yeah, but you'll get to cook zoo animals, so.
Rat kebabs and I don't know,
Tiger
cockroach
steak.
stew.
Never forget the
Till you run out of the snow vipers.
We'll never run out of cockroaches. You remember that?
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Hey, no making fun of mariachi bands.
God damn it.
We know where that goes.
But
the large cockroaches.
I don't know. I think we beat the Sargon story to death, unless you guys have anything else you want to say on it. We have a little bit of news that we can go through. In Australia, they're finding fucking needles in strawberries. How the fuck are needles getting put in strawberries?
Like in the fields?
No.
The needle epidemic's pretty bad. Strawberries around the world are addicted to heroin. So,
Oh God, this is a serious issue.
The thing is,
The epidemic has hit the strawberry fields.
No.
they're
Are we sure they're
Australian strawberries? That would explain it all.
Wait, hold on. No, not just Australian strawberries, but well, apparently in this case. But no,
We're gonna
are
have
we
to
sure?
hire people to dish out needles for the strawberries.
No. The opioid epidemic is a huge thing, but are we sure these strawberries aren't just juicing?
Maybe we need to start a needle program, clean needle programs for strawberries.
yeah, but you can't let them leave the building. Otherwise, they'll end up all over your streets with bags of poo.
Strawberry lime water.
But no, I blame the drop bears. So does the chat.
Of course you would.
The chat said the drop bears are doing this. But no, this is happening over 3 states and from 3 different strawberry farms or whatever. So how the fuck are these needles getting into the strawberries? Is it like in the manufacturing? Something's fucked up over there? I don't know. This
Tiger
is weird.
Lily heroin berries.
What are we going back to Tomacco from The Simpsons?
Oh my god,
Smells just like grandma's kisses, or tastes just like grandma's kisses.
that would be great if they found a way to essentially import heroin via strawberries. That would,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm just saying that
And now you're giving
innovation.
this to the smugglers.
The smugglers are injecting them.
See, and I was getting some faith back in humanity because I found that like cockles might help cure cancer earlier, and now I'm finding out strawberries are freaking like full of opiates. It's like we already have fucking enough problems. Fuck that shit.
It only takes one conversation with me before freaking beams of destruction, the view of humanity starts to crash again.
We're in stage 8. Oh fuck.
It's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
No, we're at the end of the arc. We're at the end of the arc on the mouse experiment. Holy shit!
Hey, when we're at the end of the arc there, as we saw from Pirates of the Caribbean, you just need to flip it.
Ah, there we go. Then you're going up again.
Do you guys remember the whole reason why we have to check our Halloween candy and stuff? You know, when we take the kids trick or treating.
No,
And
my
it was
dad
all-
used
it
to
was-
do that all
yeah.
the time.
Well, we still do. It's an excuse to steal the good candy. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. You think? Oh no, I am tax man. I am tax mom.
Oh yeah. Kids come home and it's like, nope, I gotta check to see if any are poisoned or if they've got needles in them.
No, finder's fee, nigga.
Rent.
I bought the costume, dude. You gotta pay up.
We're all going to hell.
My dad used to do it, but only go after the Reese's, because those were his favorite.
But no, but they were saying there was razor blades in the apples, right? And that was all just a big scare. Do you think that's what this is going on in Australia?
No, I think
How many people
somebody
have been
actually
injured?
did it.
That's what we have to ask ourselves. How many people have been injured?
None, almost
Well-
none. There's been like 2 kids that have had drug problems. It's like not literally those numbers, but it's been really, really tiny amounts of numbers that have actually been assaulted by anything bad being in candy. It's been a very, very small amount of people.
What about the strawberries, though?
The strawberries don't know. You have to ask Brian. That's on Brian.
I don't know anything about the needles.
No, I have to pull open the link. Let's hope I don't crash the stream. Unless MC, you want to do me a big favor.
Sure,
I thought you said you
hold on a
brought the
second.
story, Brian. I'm sorry. I'm retarded today.
No, I found all these stories yesterday. I got a couple stories about the Pope too. So some Popist talk.
Papist. He's a papist.
Yeah, I say Popist now because he's not even a fucking real Pope. Fuck that guy.
I like Pope Francis.
Let me share this. Here we go. This is the story that he's talking about right here.
Oh, I was off. Yeah, it's 6 brands. Let me present you to everybody because that was my bad. But yeah,
That's the
scroll
one from
down.
NPR.
That's the BBC.
Oh,
BBC,
because I sent a
NPR, it's
link
all the
out
same.
in the main chat with a story from NPR. That was 5 hours ago.
Several people have found sewing needles hidden inside the fruit.
Sewing needles?
Sewing needles.
Who sews anymore?
There.
No. Hey, it's a tight knit community.
Wow. Wow.
No, I almost feel bad because you actually made me chuckle with that joke. God damn
Right,
it.
boo to you too. Boo.
It's a serious point. If it is actually sewing needles, it actually means people are putting them in there to deliberately cause damage.
We were thought they were heroin needles. Now look at this.
No.
Needles.
Yeah, somebody is just trying to hurt people. That's all it is. You're
Well,
trying to
they're trying
hurt
to
and
hurt the
potentially
industry.
kill somebody.
They're
Yeah.
not necessarily trying to hurt people per se. They're trying to hurt the strawberry industry for some reason.
Which by hurting people because they're eating sewing needles and shit. Here's the thing. If anything, this gives me renewed faith in reasons why we need the FDA.
Oh,
No.
go
The
fuck
FDA
yourself.
is not going to stop
You're
that
welcome.
shit.
Get
Especially not. No, especially
What are you
when
going to
it's
do?
not
What are you going to
American.
do? Pass a regulation that says no needles in strawberries? That's
you
about
just
all they're going to be
you,
able to do.
you check samples on a varying basis because can you get everything? No, but at least you can actually maybe find needles in strawberries before people eat them.
Well, there is one.
Well, there already is quality control.
What about just hold a bloody big magnet over it and the strawberries that float upwards? There's your subtle clue. Oh,
That's a good point, dude. You can get an industrial magnet that would actually probably do that. But-
it's not.
But this is
actually-
but 6 different companies though. So this isn't a fucking one crazy person. This is a coordinated effort. What the fuck is going on in Australia?
That's what I was saying. Sabotage, guys.
Yeah, there's someone going after the industry for some reason.
Who wants to fuck with the strawberry community?
Well,
Someone
think about
allergic to strawberries?
how about the U.S. The U.S. strawberry industry wants to take over the Australian strawberry industry, so they send a few people over with needles.
So they're lowering stock prices. So this is actually like a jam op or something like that.
Well, it's Trump. Trump doesn't want to sit up there necessarily, put a tariff on Australia, so he just sends a few operatives over.
With all due respect, I believe the CIA have better things to do than stick throwing
Do they really?
Wait,
Do they really?
What they've been doing.
So you just went further than MSNBC. You just said Donald Trump is sabotaging the goddamn strawberries in Australia.
You do realize you said this on the
Strawberries
internet.
fanatics.
The internet is real, and now this can be cited.
I said that was an example. You said who would do something like that, and I was giving you an example of how it could happen.
Well, as long as context still matters.
Now that conspiracy is fucking out there. Like, you just fucked
Well,
up.
he
Well, I
already
also had the
controls the
conspiracy
weather.
of the. Yeah, that's true. And I also had the conspiracy of the freaking Nazi penguin. So I'm in good standing. I'm good.
As God of the internet, I want to say MC Shalom.
Oh, hey, what's going on, Kiro?
You're turning the strawberries into addicts, Tom. God damn it, you better quit.
Yo, look, Atema, mad libertarian. I wanted to tell y'all something. I wanted to say thank you guys very much for helping me. Yeah, I just hit 1,002 subs a day, and I want to appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Tell you, I'm very grateful for y'all helping me get there. You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations, Pinoy.
Well done.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You doing a celebration stream?
I don't know whether we're doing it today or Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what's up. You know, but I wanted to come on and thank y'all personally, and in particular, Atema. You know what I'm saying? Because without her, like legitimately, like she grew me 500 subs in the past like month. You know
I've
what I mean?
gotten 3 off of you, dude.
Take a bow, Tila. Take a bow.
No, Tema, that's the wage gap.
Apparently.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, and now I get a bunch of MGTOWs talking some crazy shit in my fucking comment sections on my videos. So yeah,
You're
you're
getting
welcome,
views.
Tom.
Certain
Hey,
communities are
views.
more malleable than others together.
Hence, and now we start going back to this is how it all starts, folks. Next thing you know, Pinoy will be out there doing a Sargon stream.
I don't begrudge Tom any of his subs. I'm happy
fucking
for it.
comments.
I'm just giving him shit because that's my job.
To be fair, the Don Gorilla on the internet could probably solve the strawberry problem.
Probably.
I could. I am the god of the internet. You know what I mean? According to some individuals. You know what I'm
You
saying?
need to stop trying to make strawberries sow, dude.
But
Yo,
which god of the
Strawberries aren't meant
internet?
for sowing.
I don't know. According to some people, I am taking over YouTube and keeping down smaller YouTubers.
Who are these people?
You are delusional. What kind of medication are
Yeah.
you taking to make you think that you are the god of the internet?
Didn't I just say it's not me? Somebody else is saying this about me.
Yeah.
You
came
wouldn't
in
believe
announcing
what
yourself
people are
as
saying.
such.
I don't believe it. I just use it as a meme because it's fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? If somebody would think that a guy like me who asked how to download the YouTubes, you know what I'm saying, when I got my fucking laptop.
Did you ask Pinoy memes how to download the YouTube?
I
Well,
did. I
no,
asked
no,
how
I-
to download the
I
YouTubes
asked
when got my
Cabbage.
fucking-
You asked
whatchamacallit.
Cabbage.
Cabbage infected me.
Yeah,
Cabbage infects everyone.
I'm borderline retarded when it comes to this internet. I just figured out OBS and I've had it for like the past like 6 months. You know, like I'm fucking I'm retarded as fuck. Nothing misunderstood. But they say I'm god of the internet, so apparently now I'm god of the fucking internet.
Well, if Donald Trump can go around just saying you won't believe what people are saying, I mean, if it worked for him, I mean, it can work for a gorilla, right?
That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at the moment. And I mean, I'm fucking whatever. I'll embrace whatever people want to say about me. No news is bad news as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, fucking y'all need to stop fucking spreading rumors about Donald Trump and the strawberries. You're gonna end up having the FBI getting investigated, y'all. All right, because
The
that's an
FBI's
actual
already
thing.
investigating him.
That's an actual thing. All right, man. That's a real fucking thing that's happening right now.
And then everybody already thinks that Donald Trump controls the fucking hurricanes.
Well, no. You want to hear a story? Here's a story. Teen accused of killing classmate was smiling and laughing during attack.
I know.
What the hell is this?
Oh, this happened in Michigan. Of course
I
it did.
know.
Okay, well then go ahead and tell the people. I don't have to read.
I seen
That's
that
it.
yesterday.
I know. I found it for yesterday's show, but then I didn't end up doing one. I sat around laughing at Sargon all day.
Am I the only one who thinks like he looks like Fred Flintstone?
Yeah,
Who? Sargon?
Yeah, he looks like not the John Goodman one, the other one. He looks just like him.
Like the original?
No.
Cartoon? I don't.
No. Have you ever seen the Flintstone movie? Like, what is it? The Bedrock joint ain't it? Whatever the fuck. The one where like, the one that had not John Goodman in it.
The bad
was it
one?
a Christmas special?
Rock Vegas?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Rock Vegas.
Yeah, the guy from what the hell's with the Heath Ledger fucking Night movie or whatever it was. God damn, I'm gonna look this shit the fuck up. New window, god damn it. I'm gonna share it with the goddamn class.
So speaking of Flintstones, how about them dinosaurs?
Yo, man, dinosaurs don't exist according to flat Earth people.
Neither does Australia, according to them.
Well, then why are we worried about their strawberries?
There we go. It's a false flag. There's the proof right there. There is no such thing as Australia. It's all a lie, and it's obviously someone's fault that they're deliberately doing this. Now,
Yeah. What if this was just somebody kind of like how they put popcorn on a string and they use like a needle to kind of thread it together? What if they just forgot the string?
You're suggesting strawberry necklaces. Great. What a concept.
Sounds tasty.
No, sounds messy.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a bunch of fucking fruit flies. flying around
Tamara, you
you.
know as well as I do, sometimes messy can be fun.
Yeah, no. After baby 4, no.
You just need to treat your linens immediately.
Hey, yo, tell me this does not look like fucking Sargon. Yo, that is Sargon of Akkad, right?
That looks like Sargon combined with Alex Jones.
Yeah, he shaved.
Yo, that's Sargon with no beard.
He's a bit fatter, but yeah.
Stephen Baldwin as his.
Australia is a large hologram made by the Japanese.
Yep, absolutely true.
A nice one, Jeffrey.
I mean,
Like
where do you
the
think kangaroo?
Indonesian triangle.
I mean, yeah, we all know that, there's no other animal that can box. There's just no fucking way.
Yeah.
People, monkeys, gorillas, bears, they can all box.
But no, to get back to that story.
It was a joke, Tom.
24 students watched in horror. 24 students watched as this happened. And the teacher tried to shove her out of the way. But yet she's still able to kill this kid. This is why teachers need to carry guns.
Well, no, okay, 24 kids watched somebody else get stabbed and they didn't step up and do anything. There's fucking 24 of them.
Well,
they all had their cameras out. They're all filming it.
Yeah, they all got a whole bunch of Instagram views off of this.
Yep.
Are you fucking serious?
That's fucking disgusting.
Have you ever heard that song "Vicarious" by Tool?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the situation.
Yeah, no, but in one, I don't know if it was attempted school shooting or they actually got somebody, but it was. If they did, it was only like one person. But didn't one student and a fucking janitor take the guy out? I mean, they watched this girl, this fucking 17-year-old girl, stab somebody repeatedly, laughing and giggling, and there was fucking 25 of them in the room. Are you?
You're not allowed to put your hands on students anymore.
What do they teach kids in conflict resolution?
Hashtag repeal the 19th. That's what I'm saying.
No, here's the
that
thing.
has nothing to do with it.
I seen that and was like, well, that's a bit psychotic.
Yeah,
it's about that.
Here's the thing. Once you get into a situation where something is happening, a lot of folks sometimes they paralyze, and then apparently in this case, some folks they just want to be an innocent bystander, maybe see what happens. Maybe they're just freezing up. Maybe they don't know how to respond. Maybe it happened very quickly. It's just when things like this happen. I'll give you a quick example. Back when I was in high school, I was in health class, and then two girls started kind of going at it. They were like a grade or so younger than me. And the teacher, she was an older gal, and she wasn't necessarily in the greatest of shape at the time. She was trying to get in between them, and then she's like, help! And I stand up. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? These are two girls going against each other and shit. I'm like, I can't hurt them. I'm like, she's kind of between them. Then eventually one girl kind of runs out, but there's a little bit of difference between some girls just fucking like throwing hands at each other versus like pulling out a kitchen knife and just butchering another person. Like,
do you know what happened the last time I tried to get into a big fight in middle school?
No.
Somebody picked me up by the back of my clothes and threw me. I can't imagine that there wasn't somebody, and this is middle school. We're talking before the boys could grow to get bigger than most of the girls, okay? There had to have been somebody that could have removed the broad. Physiology says that there had to have been somebody bigger and stronger than her that could have thrown her to remove her.
A desk and hit her over the head.
Exactly. Everybody sat there and fucking watched her kill somebody because they were fucking recording it. I think that's where I'm at with it, and I'm pissed.
Well, I mean, you know, because I need to watch things die vicariously through the TV.
Yeah. Apparently.
I'm telling you, literally the song makes the whole argument right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the way they've been training people before. Everyone wanted, you know, to go down this road about don't be a boy, don't be a man, big boys don't cry. You don't want to teach your kids something like that. You don't want to teach men to be men, right? And you don't want them to be taught this way, right? To actually jump in the defense of somebody. Okay, well now you're seeing the results of all this.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
It's been good being on the stream. Thanks for the invite. I was supposed to be doing work this entire time. Anyway, Thug Life.
All right. See you later, Brian.
Yeah. Thank you for anytime, man. No, and Melissa Carley's in the chat. How are you doing? Yeah, we're talking about some crazy bitch that went straight Stephen King on somebody.
Man, yo, look, people are retarded. They're weak, and this is what happens. You know what I mean? I don't again, this is what happens when you just let fucking you kick the fathers out of the fucking household. That's the reality of this, man.
Oh, it's when you stop letting people be people and you start forcing them to say what you want to hear and think what you want to think. Or think what you want them to think. This is what happens. You end up with people.
You're supposed to swallow your emotions for a reason. This is why dads go, dude, I don't care about how you feel. I don't give a fuck about your emotions. Shut the fuck up and handle your business. That's the whole fucking purpose of that. Is so that you don't have this type of shit happen. Because when you have an emotional fucking outburst and you have a knife in your hand, people get hurt. This is why you don't teach them to control themselves.
Well, no, and Jensen can't even have a knife in his hand. He's an adult. I know he's in the UK. This was in Michigan in the United States. But how did she get a knife to school, especially in Michigan of all places? I mean, they do have Detroit with some, murder town or whatever they fucking call it. And
not all of Michigan's Detroit. You know what I mean? Not all of them have metal detectors and shit.
That is true.
Because schools don't have metal detectors, or not all schools have metal detectors, and they don't search you at the door.
And they shouldn't. It's not prison. It's school.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like it either. It's a terrible way of doing things. Look, seriously, why can't we put moms back in the fucking kitchen, give all these kids a damn laptop, and put them in cyber school? We have the technology. Why aren't we doing this?
Because we need to have kids learn how to interact with each other. We have to have some sort of way for them to learn social hierarchies because we are social by nature.
But no, real quick. So
they can go home and just play Fortnite.
But to finish off the story real quick, these were two straight A student females, and they were African American. To be fair, because I'm not screen sharing the story. And they were fighting over a boy. This is ridiculous.
Shit.
Yeah. This happens all the time in the hood. How did this story get out? There was a little kid who got shot in the head by a fucking gangbanger, execution style on the street because his dad owed money the other day and nobody said a fucking word about it. This is normal in black communities.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for that.
I was trying to leave out the race because I knew what path we would take because I know my panel, but I have to have full disclosure here. So yeah, that is pretty much the whole story.
Yeah, that's
I think that's a neat piece of context there.
Yeah, if this happened in a white school.
How does that change the context? I mean, to be honest, it's still just disgusting that everyone stood around. You didn't see any person act like an adult. You didn't see the teacher act like an adult, right? And try to prevent this kind of stuff.
Yeah, no,
It
nobody
has
did
nothing.
anything.
I realize that okay, you say it's an African American, so we expect African Americans to act like this. Is this what we're saying?
Yeah, I do.
Have you seen what happens inside of a fucking black school when a teacher gets involved?
It is well.
It's awful.
That's another
Dude,
good point.
There are literally thousands of videos on YouTube with teachers talking about these schools. I saw one. I cannot remember the name of the damn school. I think it was Green Bay or something like that. And this chick is giving this speech on why she's resigning from her teaching position because the school is literally doing absolutely nothing to contain the sexual harassment and physical violence they face every goddamn day. And that's just one example.
Like, one of my most popular videos when I first started on YouTube was Ballou High School, right? In Ballou High School, they were literally passing fucking students and sending them out with fake fucking grades just to get them out of the fucking schools. And the one teacher spoke up about it and he was ostracized from the fucking school because he said, dude, these kids are not ready for fucking college. They're not ready to even graduate high school. It was something like it was something like 15% of the fucking kids actually showed up every day for fucking school. Like 85% of them missed almost like 100 days of the goddamn school year.
Or there's another problem of truancy where they're in the school, but they're not going to class. They're hanging out in the halls and shit.
Again, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, cyber school. Like, this is where I'm at, dude. Just let motherfuckers fail. If they're going to fail, let them fail. Like, why are we doing all this?
There's no point in even doing cyber school, because even doing cyber school in some states, you're still hooked up to the school, and they control everything. Single thing you do.
Well, why are we spending
Shut the fuck up, I'm talking. Which means they're still breathing down your neck. And they will send people to your home to make sure you are doing exactly what they want when they want you to do it.
Yeah, no, and I don't want those people. Real quick though, Coffee. I don't want those people in my fucking home. It's my home. I don't even have to let the cops in my home without a goddamn warrant. But self-surgery in the chat has a great point. We've moved away from being an evolved society to a watching society. No one wants to be interactive anymore, of fear of what the backlash on social media will be. That's a very good point.
No, that's why I homeschool the way that I homeschool.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
We spend $1 trillion a year on education. $1 trillion.
And we get shit for it. And we get shit for it. Yeah, we get shit for it. And that's not just, everybody goes, $1 trillion on public schools. They don't realize that goes to universities too. So not only are we having dysfunctional children unleashed on society, we're having more so dysfunctional adults released on society at this point.
Well, yeah, that's why the prisons are overflowing on that and fatherless homes. I really believe that.
I absolutely believe without two parents in the household, you're not going to have functional children. You need parents.
You need the two-parent system. Every child needs both their mother and their father.
Did you know 75% of the fucking inmates in there for drugs have child support cases?
Yep.
And I mean, like, it's a perpetual cycle, dude. Perpetual cycle. And a quarter of my fucking city's population has been incarcerated for fucking child support.
Jesus.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, when things go south. I got you. Dude, this is why this is why I bang the way I do on shit that I do. You know, like, this is why.
But if we're putting folks in jail for owing money, how are they going to pay back the money?
It doesn't matter. It's a debtor's prison. It's a debtor's prison. It's a codified debtor's prison memes. Something that we fought a revolution for, we have brought back, and it only affects half of our population. It's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Say how you like prisons. Come on.
Well, I mean, as long as they're not like private prisons that are for profit.
Well, wait a minute. Private prisons for profit. You're telling me the public ones aren't for fucking profit? How much tax dollars do they drag in? How much is the warden paid? How about the security guards? They're all for profit, dude. Don't give me that fucking argument. My libertarian is showing again. My libertarian's showing again. So.
I'm not a fan of prisons.
Personally, I think our penal system should be set up to the point where we try to do everything we can to keep people out of prison rather than throwing them in for just about everything under the sun. It seems to me that it would do more for society as a whole and for the prison system if we stopped focusing on trying to get the prisons to make money and tried to make sure they were small enough we didn't have to worry about supporting them.
Well, what is our goal? Is our goal to have these folks pay their debt to society, rehabilitate them, or both?
Both.
Are we doing that?
No.
Well,
Corporatized,
it sounds like
privatized.
The goal of the prisons
the
is
penal
not to
system is not a
rehabilitate
good
them.
idea.
It's not to give them debt to society. The goal of prisons has to be foremost to isolate threats to society.
Oh, I agree. As long as we're
into some
focusing on
other-
that.
but you
I
just
think we
said
need
what's
to
the purpose of
differentiate those two. I think there are criminals and then there are threats to society, and I think we need to classify how we view them.
If you start your classification from threats to society, then I would agree with you. But that's not how we do things.
No, I know. I'm
And that's
saying we
the
need to
problem.
Wait, that is how we do things. There's something called a misdemeanor, something called a violation, and something called a felony. We already do that.
We had the system set up to do that, but we're not actually doing that. We're not actually sitting up there putting people and saying, okay, is this person really a threat to society? No, we're saying the guy who's sitting up there robbing a store because he's trying to get bread for his family is exactly the same as the guy who robs the store because he's just trying to get money for his freaking drug habit, which is the same as the guy who's robbing the store because he likes doing it and he's getting kicks off it.
Well, no, but then you're looking at motive. How exactly are you going to determine the true motive of anybody?
Wait, can we break another piece into this real quick? What about when you get out of prison, all of a sudden you're labeled as a felon or have a misdemeanor, and you can't get a decent job?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is we have it's ruining our entire culture the way we have our prison system set up.
Is a lot of it from sentencing guidelines and shit?
Yes.
No.
Well, part of it is it's the mandatory minimum sentences for things like child support and for possession of marijuana and things like that. It's you get in a fight, you have to serve 6 months in jail. You know what I mean?
Well,
mandatory minimum sentencing is a bad
Would we
thing.
see as many 100-mile-per-hour chases in California if there wasn't a 3-strike rule for somebody just having some pot in the car, or not pot, but something else? It's California.
We don't have that here. What we do is we just charge everybody with every crime possible that they can hit you with, and then they'll let you plead it down. Because you can't. They'll run a trial out for like 2 years. Like you'll be on bail for 2 years, and eventually you just lose your mind and go, "Yo, fuck it, dude, I'll take the deal." And then you go in without ever having any opportunity to defend yourself in court.
Well, no,
that's gravy, baby.
Well, that's what small towns do too. Like I got busted for minor possession and like consumption or whatever, or no, it wasn't that. It was what they ended up charging me with was having alcohol around minors, which isn't actually a crime because I was of age, and the cops let me walk and they gave me the ticket 3 weeks later. And I'm like, why? Yeah, I'm like, why are you doing this now? They're like, because we feel like it and we need to meet quota. And I get into fucking court. Yeah, he told me straight up too. I get into court and the fucking prosecutor comes up. He goes, you know what? We'll bust this as a violation. You can only pay $300, or we can charge you with providing alcohol to minors, and we'll give you fucking 6 months. I'm like, I'll take the deal. Yeah, they're extorting you. They're stealing money from you. I was innocent too, and the cops let me leave. I had just showed up at the house, and then someone got in a fight, and the cops showed up, and they let me and another friend leave, and they only gave me the ticket. And it was 3 weeks later. It was total horse shit.
Yeah, that sounds like I was charged for being under the influence of a methamphetamine that I hadn't touched. I had taken some cold medication. Like literally I took some Sudafed. And then I got arrested for something I didn't do. And I had to go to drug court, and it cost me over $1,000 because I tested positive for a methamphetamine I had never taken because I took Sudafed. That's how Cali works. It cost me like $3,000.
Well, but what's the reason that we're going through all of this? The main reason is because people have found loophole after loophole after loophole, all right, in the other side of this, where people that are obviously guilty are doing everything they can. The defense is dragging it out and dragging it out and dragging it out. All right, and people said, okay, this is a good thing because they're dragging it out. We're going to get justice because they're dragging it out. Well, now you no longer have justice in this situation either. There's been abuse of the court systems for a long time, and everyone was cheering it on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, but this is the opposite side of it. See, what I experienced was the opposite side of it, was the legislative and the judicial side realizing that they could make laws that would force people to go into programs that could get their friends money on the other end of it through counseling and all that kind of stuff. They found a way. What?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just I'm looking. The corruption is from the not the police, but from the judges and their friends and legislators and stuff like that. It's
Excel in chat says, do not take plea deals.
No, don't. I was threatened with a year of jail time if I tried to contest the charge I was.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's how they get you. And then you have also, I mean, this is a smaller thing, I guess. It still costs everybody money. Like I-5. Come on, I bet you know this. You drive through Coburg, and if you're going even 3 miles per hour over the speed limit, they'll pull you over. Why? Because they make all their money from I-5. And they only get like a 5-mile stretch. So they patrol it constantly, and they bust everybody they can. It's bullshit.
Heard of it. I've heard of that section. In fact, I seem to remember that my husband got a ticket, or almost got a ticket back in like the 90s on that section of the 5. Like they've had that speed trap set up for like what, 35 years now. It's so
that's how they fund. That's how they fund everything, and it's extortion. And most every other cop will give you a 5-mile leadway because of odometer differences or speedometer differences. You know what I mean? Like, they do this all the fucking time. They take advantage of the system because that's how they fund themselves.
Yeah.
Self-surgery in the chat says you have a better chance of beating the charges than a plea deal. People forget the burden of proof is on the prosecution, not the defendant.
Yeah, and like, I was part of that Kids for Cash thing back in the fucking 1990s where they were selling kids into the motherfucking placements and shit. Every kid that went in front of the judge just automatically went to a damn placement.
That's fucked.
Is what it is.
Yeah, the justice system needs a total overhaul. MC has said that before as well.
Oh, the justice system is destroyed, broken, and it's not even justice anymore. We should just call it the penal system because there's absolutely no justice in it.
No.
Definitely turned sideways.
Well,
we beat Sargon into the ground, and Sargon was already pretty much dead. We just kind of poked him with a stick, so we're done with that. But Jensen, like, it's even worse over there. You guys get busted for fucking potato peelers. What the fuck, dude?
I completely agree. To be honest, you guys have actually got it right. You shouldn't call it a justice system. It is the penal system. They are there purely to make money and get rid of people if they just don't like their face, quite simply. Do not trust them and look after yourself. And like they said, do not take plea deals. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, taking a plea deal is a death knell.
Yeah, the last time I was charged with, like, I got charged with 3 felonies. I was facing 15 years. And Jesus. Yeah, look, I was on bail for 2 years. I was living like I had cancer. It was awful. I fucked my life all types of up. But so I went up in front of the judge, like, because I was in front of the judge like probably 30 times inside of that 2 years minimum. And like every couple of months you would just go in, or every month or so you would go in and fucking like they'd continue it and continue it and continue it. And my lawyer wasn't there one day. I had to go up in front of the judge. This is my next to last time in court. And I went up there and I talked to the judge, and like I told him what my lawyer had told me to tell them, like to ask for a continuance, and I was tripping over my words. And the judge thought I was cute, and she smiled at me. She goes, "Oh, you're cute," right? And like, the next time I went in there, they go, "Oh, all charges are dismissed."
Oh, you were so fucking lucky.
Yo, man, you're not gonna. I would tell you the real story about like the whole background behind that, because like.
So basically, you slept with the judge and got off. You crit.
Yo, I did not sleep with this judge, but like there's some dark shit behind this. You know what I mean, that I can't mention on air because, you know, like the judge is still a judge and I'm still me and the people are still alive. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, I was fortunate. I was very, very fortunate.
Sounds like it.
You did sleep with the judge.
I did not sleep with the judge. No, I didn't. There was.
I did not have sexual relations
with that woman.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Before the last time I had seen that judge, they came to take my son from me at my grandfather's funeral, and everybody was home from fucking over New York and, you know, I mean, Virginia and, you know, back in the old world and whatnot. You know what I mean, to bury my grandpa, and they came to get my kid at his funeral. And, you know, I mean, that's about as deep as I'm going to go into that right now.
Jesus. Yeah.
Well, no, I will say one good thing about the small town I was mentioning earlier. I never paid that fine, and I ended up getting arrested. And they only have court once a week in that town because the judge works in 3 different small town courthouses. So I was going to end up in there for like 8 days on like a $300 fine. He came in when I was in there for only 48 hours, and he just came in and said, "Time served," and moved me along. That was cool. It wasn't even his day. He came out of his way and fucking got me out of jail because it would have been fucked if I was in there for 8 days for $300.
Well, that would have been it would have been an abuse of the justice system, and they would have had to refund you. There's a whole lot of stuff he had to come out, because if they didn't, there would have been a huge lawsuit.
Do you guys have constables out there?
It depends on which state you live in.
Not out there. Do you guys have constables?
I haven't seen any. Have you seen any, Mad?
All right, yo, for y'all that don't know what constables is, they're like state bounty hunters here, right? They come get you when you have a warrant. And I had a constable come to my fucking house, and I wasn't there. I was over at my mom's fixing her car and shit. And my wife calls me, and I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "The constable's here." He said, "Sir, you're under arrest." Like I don't feel like I'm under arrest. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on the phone right now. I ain't got no cuffs on me. And I mean, so, "Well, you owe these fines." I was like, "Well, I'll go down there later and take care of it." So I go to take care of this shit later and pay this fine or whatever. And I swear to God, this constable jumps out from behind the door as I walk into the fucking district justice's office and goes, "I got you," and then walks me to the window and tries to collect these constable's fee.
Melissa Carley in the chat says, "I'm going to convert Mad Dodge to my struggle, repeal the 19th. So,
okay, for us foreigners, what's the 19th?
Women's right to vote.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly disagree on that.
It's retarded. You're asking America to stop being America so that you can fucking be mad at feminists. It's stupid. It's not going to change anything. That's the worst way to go about it.
America was America for 150 years before you got the right to vote. What are you talking about?
That's not what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with women's right to vote. I'm talking about, you're trying to say that people should have less rights and less liberty in a liberty-based society because you want to increase birth rates and you want to decrease the welfare state. You're saying we need to be fascistic and less liberty-based so that I can get the votes out of people that I want. That is the opposite of being Western, in my opinion. Yeah.
You should never got the right to vote in the first place.
Okay, well,
without
let
having
the cat's
to fucking
out of the
register for the
bag.
draft.
Deal with it. The cat's out of the bag. Deal with it. You can't go regressing it because you don't like it. Retroactive law never works. America's proven this.
No, it's a horribly failed mistake. What are you talking about? It is a completely failed mistake.
You can't blame the entirety of Western problems on women. That is the dumbest fucking thing I can think of.
Well, he might be able to convince Hillary Clinton, though, because she's blaming white women for her loss in her book. So,
Atema, he can, and he's been doing it. Okay, so to say that he can't do that is kind of a mistake.
Well, I'm saying
it's not going to work. Real quick.
I thought that was fucking evident.
I had to mute Sherardi because of the wind. So that's why. Go ahead and unmute whenever you want to talk. And go ahead, Tema. Sorry. You two can go at it for a while. Have at this argument.
I'm tired of this, dude. I have fucking like a bunch of MGTOWs going in the comments of my fucking videos now. I get harassed every time I try to talk in Tom's chat. If I go to some of the other conservative leaning stuff, I find these fuckers and they follow me places. I'm not interested in having the argument anymore. It's turned into a fucking disaster for me and decrease my ability to fucking distribute videos.
Oh, I say he can blame whatever the fuck he wants on whoever the fuck he wants. The fact of the matter is he cannot fault anyone.
I can.
Well, I'll tell you what. I am opposed to repealing the 19th, and every woman I've ever been with ended up voting fucking libertarian. So I've actually created quite a few libertarians. So I'm good with the women voting. It's all good.
Yo, self-surgery said, surprise, a female is telling a man what they can and can't do, and you wonder why Tom is about repealing the 19th. You see that? Oh my God, look, man, I got supporters. I got supporters. I gotta peel. I gotta peel. I gotta peel out. I gotta fucking go over here and hang out. I want to go fucking say hi to Gassy.
I'm honestly, I want to leave because I've been dealing with for 3 weeks, and it's an old hat.
I love you, man. I'm a roll. Yo, you know who self-surgery is? Yo, you ain't one of them motherfuckers. He's cool. Calm down. You good? I'm rolling out. I gotta fucking peel. Thank you guys again, man, for helping me get where the fuck I'm at. It's appreciated. I'll holler at y'all
later.
Drive yourself, mate. Bye.
But no, MC, anything in the news you wanted to rant about? And Tema, don't go. I'm not fucking in favor of repealing the 19th. There's another amendment I'd like to repeal, but I don't want to dig into that today.
No, I've already discussed the argument several times. I'm just tired of having the argument. It has been a constant barrage everywhere I'm going lately. There's at least 2 people all the time telling me, repeal the 19th, you shouldn't vote, repeal the 19th, repeal the 19th, you shouldn't this, you shouldn't that. There's all kinds of dumb shit. I'm just done. I'm just worn out. It's, I can have a conversation.
As far as Melissa goes, she and I have already had this argument in Dodge's Discord.
It's the dumbest argument ever. You're talking about regression instead of learning from your mistakes. So yeah, okay, let's take away over half the population's rights because you don't like the way they vote and you don't like the things they say because you've decided there's some sort of litmus test for what is and is not just. Let's not learn from any of those mistakes. No, let's just go repeal everything, go backwards and repeat the same mistakes because that's going to work.
Well, if you wanted to make a litmus test to vote, I would say you would either need to own property or own something of value. But it's not going to be reversed. It's not going to ever. So it's a pointless argument.
Well, and it's retarded because women don't have the right, can't be. That's retarded. Wow, they must want to repeal the 19th Amendment too.
Now, CSN is a College of Southern Nevada, and they want to. This professor shot himself in the arm, according to Mark Jeffrey Bird's arrest report. A student at CSN's West Campus rendered aid to him after he came out of the restroom bleeding on August 28th. When rendering first aid, the student said Bird started saying he was protesting Trump and he shot himself because of that. Another employee saw him as he left the restroom. She said she had just heard a loud noise when Bird walked out of the restroom, and then Bird fell to the ground with blood coming up from his arm. After the employee called 911 and they were awaiting medical personnel, she said Bird made a statement against Trump and was rambling about what was happening in the country. Male employee told police that Bird said something about Trump, but did not specify what. Several witnesses said while they heard a loud noise in the restroom, they did not realize Bird had used a gun until after the fact. When responders entered the restroom, they found a pistol along with a $100 bill and a note saying, "For the janitor," on the mirror. Bird was arrested for discharging a firearm within the prohibited area, carrying a concealed weapon without a permit, and possession of a dangerous weapon on school property. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for Monday. So basically, you have a college professor who decided to take to prove that the Second Amendment is something that nobody should have. I shot myself.
Well, okay. Wait a minute. What?
I'm going to protest Trump. Blam! That'll show him. That'll prevent me from beating off for like 3 or 4 weeks. I shot my right arm.
Yeah. I want to protest the drone strikes. Let's drone myself.
Oh my God! Yeah, so that's one of the stories that I found. I thought quite amusing. That's how crazy, though. That's how crazy Trump derangement syndrome has gotten.
So, do you think that's a real thing?
What? That the guy really shot himself?
No, Trump derangement syndrome.
Yes, I think it's a real thing. I think these people are that far out of control. I don't think it. I think they're psychotic. Now, I don't know if you can say that it's, Trump, all right? I mean, that's just an excuse. But, yeah, no, I think it's real. I think that these people are that far gone. And I think it's demonstrated in more ways than one, and this is just one example. Now, that's just my opinion. You can ask everybody else what their opinion is.
Wait, so, like, this is an argument in favor of gun control. Did he have a felony? I bet not. He's a college professor. I bet you he had a clean record. He's not he is mentally ill. Obviously, he shot himself, but he wasn't considered mentally ill then. So, how is this an argument for gun control? Like, you bought the gun legally, correct? Unless he bought it illegally, and then that's not even a gun control argument. That's, I'm a fucking criminal and I'm an idiot.
Well, I think you could call him an idiot anyway. Either way, call him a moron. Now,
well, no,
this was just a 22 caliber. If I'm not mistaken, this was just a 22 caliber pistol.
Just a 22. A 22 will bounce around in the body.
Can, that's true. But if he shot himself in the arm with a 9mm, it would have been a heck of a lot worse. At that range where you're shooting yourself.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm still kind of dumbfounded here. Tema or Quinn, what do you? Well, Quinn, yeah. Actually, you hardly talk, so I'm gonna throw this at you. You're from the UK. Is this why you guys aren't allowed to have fucking even knives? Because you'll walk around stabbing yourselves?
If only there are so many people in this country that really need that. But no, simply put, the idiot that decided to do that should have used a depleted uranium round and saved everyone a whole lot of fucking problems. If you're going to do it properly. Tell me I'm wrong, MC. Come on. You agree with me. I knew it.
It's gonna make an example of let's go all out.
Oh, yeah, if you're gonna do it all the way, man, come on, make it good. Dragon breath round from a shotgun, anything like that. Make it good. Make people know what you're trying to play. Don't try and confuse people.
I mean, at least the Buddhists in the Vietnam War made a statement. They took themselves completely out when they doused themselves with gasoline.
Precisely, and they're still talked about nowadays. I'm telling you now, 10 years, no one will even remember this guy.
Where's the commitment? Where's the commitment to the cause?
Wait. We want college professors burning themselves? Now you guys are fucking me up even more.
No, we're just saying that if you're going to kill yourself or you're going to shoot yourself, do it all the way.
Yeah.
Don't pussyfoot around.
No, Kurt Cobain it.
Screw him. Seriously, depleted uranium round, deals with all of the problems, one shot, one problem gone. There you go.
All hail Blue Whale. Anyway, moving on. Well, I guess not moving on. No. What the fuck is going on with this Trump derangement syndrome? Like, why are people wigging the fuck out this bad? They didn't freak out like this with George W. They didn't freak out like this with Ronald Reagan. They didn't freak out like this with Nixon until the impeachment hearing. Then they kind of wigged. But, I mean, what the fuck?
They did wig out. Okay? These same people have been wigging out more and more and more. In case you haven't noticed, these are the same people that did have the sit-ins. These were the same ones that were in the 1960s sitting up there, bombing their own colleges and everything. All right? These are the people, this is what they grew up into. This is why this stuff has happened. And they not only grew up into that, they're all on college campuses, but they're also throughout the entire media complex. Okay? Now people can talk about, well, they point to people like what's his name? Bill O'Reilly, right? Well, Bill O'Reilly is actually from the group before them, right? If you want to take a look at the people that are part of that group now, right? That are in their 50s, right? And they're in their 60s now, right? That's the group that's doing it. It's not the group that was in the 70s and their 80s, right? This is what they've been like, and now they're in charge, and now they've got power, and this is how they've always planned to use it.
Jensen.
Yes, sir.
I don't even remember how old you are, to be honest. I believe you're about my age. Do you remember that?
You're younger than me, and you're the same age as me, so yeah.
Okay, so do you remember fucking how the UK degraded? Was it like this? Is it the same thing?
No, it's really weird with Britain. We kind of poodled along quite nicely. Everything was going well. And I'm telling you, the moment we hit the 2000s, everything went to shit. It went completely insane with the new laws and all of this stuff. I'm telling you now, we are living in a Mandela effect. Somewhere out there is a universe where things are actually still vaguely normal. But we are stuck in an absolutely insane universe. And by the way, in the side chat, I put a link for you to have a look at. That might give you something well.
Well, no, and that's kind of a scary thought, the multiple realities idea, because somewhere out there's a reality where MC is fucking president, and he threw an asteroid into the Earth. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I'll give you scary. Somewhere out there, and this is almost impossible, but somewhere out there is a universe where MC is a hardcore leftist.
You mean a socialist?
Oh my god, he's a soy boy sipping fucking latte and shit. Yeah, there we go.
With his legs crossed in his skin-tight jeans.
Wearing my Che Guevara t-shirt.
He's a fucking hipster.
I thought you were going to be offended for a second. I was worried, but no.
Oh God, no! MC can take a joke.
I got to buy him a Che Guevara t-shirt now. I have to.
Smoking a cigar.
You need to make a joke or a shirt that says MC is a hipster.
Oh, that's going to be so funny. You got to make sure he's wearing them little rose-coloured specs as well, just to make him look cheap.
Make me look authentic with the rose-colored glasses.
Oh, well, yeah.
No. Tie-dye T-shirt with the beach covers on.
And you've got to have one of the scruffy little goatees that never really gets shaved properly. If you're going to do it, go all the way.
Hey, I have a goatee. God damn it.
One, dude. Your one, at least, is halfway decent. I'm talking one empathetic. It looks like a rat fell asleep on his chin. You know, sort of ones I mean?
But no, you know what I forgot to talk about earlier when we were talking about the whole Sargon thing? He kind of threw Dankula under the bus. Did you notice that when you were watching it? I don't think MC watched it. Quinn, did you watch it at least?
No, very sorry. The only thing is I watch is the This Week in Stupid.
Okay, so I kind of need Tema to unmute. So if you're back, Tema, you watched it because I watched it with you. So, but no, he kind of threw him under the bus. He's like, you know, you're talking about my political ambitions, I think he said, or whatever. I don't know, something like that. And he brought up getting arrested for memes and shit, but that's more like Dankula is or whatever, you know. You're more or less talking about Dankula, not me. So he kind of threw, I've seen pictures with them together, so maybe his friend, he kind of just shoved them into the subway, like on fucking House of Cards. I don't know, it was weird.
Well, okay, what was his reasoning for bringing up Dankula?
That's why, Tema, you're back. Good.
Yeah, sorry, I was joking.
Do you remember the part of the video where Sargon throws Dankula under the bus, pretty much? Can you get better context than I am right now?
Okay,
please.
So Sargon was kind of halfway whining about being picked on by Medicurve, and he goes, "Well, Dankula was wearing a suit too, and he has all these things, and he's like me, and he does these things too. How come you're not bothering him? I mean, technically, we are pretty much the same. We're both in UKIP and this, that, and everything else. How come you're not picking on him?" Probably because he can shitpost better than just about anybody else on the planet, but fucking who cares anything about that? He was just trying to say, you need to pick on other people besides me. He threw Dank under the bus for that. What?
Okay, so basically he was just saying, it's not just me, pick on this guy too?
Yeah, he was trying to involve him. It was bullshit.
Yeah.
The term we're looking for is whiny little shit.
Oh, dude, that's way wrong. Look, if you do something that people find it funny and so forth, you got to own it. Well, what's the problem? See, you wonder why I get irritated with these millennials and things like that. Sargon's another one. Quite frankly, look, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does things that are foolish and laughable in people's eyes, and they do something that they're embarrassed of doing, right? I mean, everyone's going to be like that. That's part of the human experience. When you do something embarrassing and you realize, oh, I screwed up, right? That's a natural part of growing up. It's a natural part of life. This attitude of how bad, being embarrassed for yourself is. Were you going to try and you're going to tell somebody to go attack them? God, what a cowardly move. I mean, that's cowardly.
That was an adorable Australian accent you did.
Oh, geez, thank you so much. Wow.
Aiming for British, but just a slight bit off. I don't even try accents. But in the chat, Hammered Spud's being a prick, but I'll go ahead and read it. In an alternate universe, Matt is from the South. Go fuck yourself, buddy. Melissa says that Sargon is a Gen Xer, and maybe that's the issue. He pawns everything off. I'm adding to it. She didn't say this, but maybe he's pawning everything off on somebody else to deflect, from himself, which is pretty obvious, I think, actually.
Yeah, but that's how cowardly do you have to be to do something like that? I mean, that's just nonsensical. Now, I'm not trying to defend Sargon. I'm not trying to attack Sargon because I haven't really seen it. And quite frankly, when it comes to Hollywood drama, which I kind of put this in, I don't care. I don't care that Gina Davis is sleeping with somebody else's boyfriend and therefore they're having some kind of scat fight or something like that coming down the line. I've never cared for that kind of stuff to begin with, right? So, and I don't care about this kind of drama either, really, when it comes down to it. But if you do something like that, if you take that kind of an action where you're basically throwing one of your pals, right, or anybody else, whether it's your pal or not, under the bus like that, saying go attack them, basically encouraging the attack on somebody else to try and deflect it to save your feelings, that's rancid, man. That's just freaking bad. What kind of human? I mean, you're gonna. That's SJW type style stuff, in my opinion.
No, yeah, and I thought Sargon and Dankula were cool. It always seemed like it. They've streamed together a bunch of times.
Dank seems fine with it. He doesn't seem to care.
I know, but it's the principle of the matter. You just throw your friend under the bus. It'd be like I get in some shit and I'm like, oh, why are you fucking with me? Go after MC. Like, you know what I mean? That's fucking bullshit.
By the way, if anybody gets tired of going after Mad, you come after me. Please do. You're more than welcome.
Yeah. Oh, the rant videos you would have after that, right?
Well, I had something else to rant about aside from freaking Jane Fonda today.
Same thing. Anyone wants to go after Tema or Mad or MC or Quinn? Quinn's my buddy.
Thank you.
You can come after me.
Good
I
luck.
would go after you, but I don't really have much to go after.
But you but you just don't throw somebody under the bus, and that's what it seemed like he did. And I just wanted the
It wasn't even like he threw him under the bus. It was more like he was trying to do a, hey, look, I'm cool. I hang out with Dankula. Don't bug me. It was like, do you remember the tiny, tiny nerd in school that hid behind everybody else?
It was a name drop type thing.
Yes. Like he grabbed his arm and his sleeve and went, come here, help me, kind of thing. It was more like I'm assuming that you're on my side.
So basically, he was using Dankula as my bodyguard?
Uh-huh. He was using him as a shield. That's the way I read it.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you, really.
Because Dankula could take the heat, dude, and he'll just bant right back. He doesn't give a fuck.
Which he did later that night. He was on the kill stream.
Yeah, I watched.
So Dankula got involved in this drama?
No, he said, well, that's kind of fucked up. And then he went, yeah, I don't care about this. I've got bigger fish to fry right now, like losing my freedom of memeing. So I got shit to do. He was like, I don't have time for this. So I don't care.
And that's the way Sargon should have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were...
Anybody say... I'm trying to think how to say this. Why is criticism of oneself, all right, set people off like it does?
Actual criticism?
Yeah.
Or trolling?
Well, criticism at all. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being criticized. When somebody criticizes you, you should be analyzing it and take it for,
Humans are prideful by nature.
Well,
we don't like hearing criticism.
Okay, I understand the pride part. Trust me. To say that I'm arrogant is probably quite the understatement. Okay, so I understand that aspect of it, but that doesn't mean that you can't take criticism. Why can't you take criticism? That's a natural part of growing, isn't it? Isn't that one of the things that sets us apart from the animals? The fact that we can get criticism verbally rather than physically to adjust our action? Or am I missing something?
Well,
say it again. I think I missed part of it because it was really quiet.
Yeah, no, and Tema, will you take over for just a second? I gotta step away. The kids are acting up and I have to use the restroom, so I'll be right back.
One of the things that makes us different than other creatures, than animals, right, is that we can learn through being told things. We don't have to actually experience things. We can be told things and learn from that.
Yes, we have the ability to auditorily learn, yes.
Okay. Why is it that we can't? I mean, part of that's when you're criticized and you're doing something that's wrong. You don't need to be verbally, or physically, a physical action have to, be applied to you. When did we start to lose that? Isn't that one of the things that sets us apart from animals?
I understand what you're saying. I'm trying to connect everything though, because all I'm saying is that it's wrong for these people to buy their own bullshit. I mean, I don't know what context. I'm lost again.
Well, okay. The whole thing with this is Sargon's reacting to criticism of himself, right?
Okay, yes, he's doing it incredibly immaturely. Yeah, he's handling it very poorly.
Right. Is this an aspect of that generation?
Oh, do you think it's a millennial thing?
That's what I'm wondering.
It very well could be. I think it's more of an internet thing though, because if you look at how internet savvy boomers act on the left compared to internet savvy millennials on the left.
Okay.
They're almost the same.
I would agree with you.
So I'm not sure. Cause that leaves me with a big question, because is it an internet thing where we've gotten used to like all this instant gratification and constant praise and stuff like that, or is it a pre-internet thing where we're talking about everybody was getting the gold stars and that stuff started happening, you know, the you'll never have to feel sad again kind of ideals. So, or is it just an amalgamation of the two that's created two of the most retarded politically generations I've ever seen in my life? I don't know. I can't say Gen X is far off, though. They're pretty stupid in some ways too.
Well, the idea that the world's going to hand you anything, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that's
aside from a crap burger, okay, because that's all the world is ever going to hand you. I'm not saying there's not good things in the world, okay. I'm not a nihilist, all right. But you have to understand you're not owed anything, right? And just because somebody has something, even if in your opinion they didn't work for it or they don't deserve it, doesn't mean that it's something that's yours. Doesn't mean that you're owed that or you deserve it, right?
Oh yeah, no.
Because you don't. You know, and for something like this, right now, Sargon, when I first encountered Sargon, believe it or not, was not through his videos, all right, with Sarkeesian. I first encountered Sargon because I was watching metallurgy videos, and he did a video on bronze swords and bronze sword making, right? And I was like, this is kind of cool, right? And I was like, you know, because I was just looking at that kind of forging kind of video and stuff. So it was totally nothing to do with politics or anything else, right? And then when I heard Sargon in some of these call himself Sargon of Akkad, the reason I realized it was him was because I recognized the voice, right? He's got a unique voice, and that is one of the advantages that he has in this medium. This medium very much is a voice.
Yeah, but his disadvantage is if he jumps on a debate, he's gonna get his ass whooped. And now he wants to be in politics. Even fucking Richard Spencer whooped him in a debate. I think I could take Richard Spencer in a debate. I'll just switch the fucking topic to individualism and I'll fucking rip him apart, which is what Sargon tried to do, but he couldn't fucking do it. Like, and you be prepared if you're going against somebody like Richard Spencer, because you know he's fucking prepared. He's sitting in his goddamn basement all day, fucking, you know, either reading Mein Kampf or fucking getting prepared. So, I mean, really, I don't think he's got a chance in politics. I really fucking don't.
Sargon? Oh, he's way too thin-skinned. He's way too thin-skinned. I don't. He's gonna have to toughen the fuck up.
Well, who's going to challenge you?
The Tories and the fucking what's the other parties there? Quinn, help me out. It's your country.
Labour and technically a Liberal Party, but I wouldn't even consider them a party anymore. They've got about 4 people left. It's ridiculous.
To be honest, Common Sense Guy has a way, way, way smaller channel than him, and I think he had more of a chance. I heard that he might not be able to anymore, but I don't know. I haven't heard it from him, but
we know he has health issues.
Exactly. He's said it multiple times that he has health issues. So, but I think he had a better chance because he hasn't fucking told what politician did fucking Sargon say that I wouldn't even rape you. Well, like Sargon has done some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that can endear him to a population. Right. One of the things that you got to understand about politics is Tim is right about politics when she talks about optics, but optics are in the eye of the beholder, right? And for this generation, that's why with the generation that he's in, he may be fine. He's not necessarily my cup of tea. He's not in my generation, but then again, my generation won't be the one trying to elect him either.
Well, no, and Melissa says, who would I rather have as a senator, Sargon or Nancy? That's not a hard choice. I agree, but Sargon doesn't live in the United States. The UK political system is far different. What is it? First to the poll or first to the finish line or whatever, Quinn? How do you guys do it?
First past the post is the official term for it. See,
So
basically, with you lot, you vote for the person. Over here, we vote for the party. The party decides who's in charge, not us.
Right, but the MPs are decided by ballot, right?
Yeah. But it's then whoever in charge of the party that makes it in becomes the Prime Minister. So that's why it's very different between you guys and us. That's why a lot of the conversations when you're talking politics, I do sit back because your politics is so different to ours. It's amazing.
Can I ask another question then?
Go for it, mate. Go on.
How often does somebody actually become prime minister in your country that weren't members of parliament ahead of time?
Doesn't happen.
Okay, it doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. Point blank. The end. Boom.
So he would still at some point have to become a member of parliament.
Yes.
So he'd have to get elected at least at some point in time.
Yes. Now, I'd like it noted, I don't have 100% knowledge on this, but it's to the best of my knowledge, cannot actually become PM without becoming an MP.
Now, let me ask one more question while I'm at it. I know you have something called the House of Lords. Are they elected or are they selected?
Yeah, the House of Lords is a very fascinating thing. They are not elected in any way, shape or form. We the people have absolutely no freaking power over them. Imagine Bullock, noting he's in chat.
okay, so it's still a remnant from the feudal system, pretty much, right?
There's a reason that they're called the House of Lords. They are all technically peers of the realm.
So it's hereditary, how they get in there.
Oh no, it's okay, I'm gonna be blunt. It's backhanders to the right people in charge to get themselves put forwards as lords and ladies, which then allows them to go into the House of Lords.
That is so weird. Like maybe Sargon would have a better chance just moving to America and running as a congressman. Foreigners can do that. They can't actually be president, but you can, renounce your British citizenship, become an American, and then run for fucking Senate or whatever.
Yeah, about that, I was actually on a different stream, not connected with politics, and he was talking to this guy about it, and he was actually saying that he was thinking of actually moving over and becoming an American citizen. Just to warn you lot. Okay, so you may actually end up with Sargon with some sort of power. Be afraid.
You know what? I've been shitting on Sargon all night. I get that. But I'll take Sargon over Pierce Morgan. You just keep Pierce over there, right?
Yes.
Oh, I completely agree. That man is a complete waste of DNA. He really
I don't know. I'm thinking about moving. I mean, we just freaking let Beaver in.
Oh, you poor sods. You have my sympathy.
Justin Bieber just became a U.S. citizen.
Wait, I thought the wall was getting built. What the fuck?
It makes Tom's tribute state look a little more appealing. Sorry.
Please carry on, sorry.
Oh no, I was just making a little one-line zinger.
Oh,
me too. It made Tom's tribute state look much more appealing.
You get a trebuchet, you get a trebuchet, you get a trebuchet.
But I mean, seriously, out of my least favorite British people, I of course have magic bollocks. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
I thought it was Cabby.
No,
Magic
look,
bollocks.
Cabby was next.
He just doesn't like Cabby because Cabby won't give him his freaking castle.
Yeah, I want my fucking castle. What the fuck, dude?
I thought you said you were Irish.
But after that, though, in reality, the worst British people have to be Pierce Morgan and Gordon Ramsay. I am so sick of Gordon Ramsay. He can go shout at his
Gordon
own
Ramsay.
people. Oh, he can go shout at his own people. My wife loves that show, and I'm fucking tired of it. Like,
He does.
You know, as
He does
much as,
shout
as,
at
much
his
as we
own-
talk
at his
about
own.
all the bad people that coming from Great Britain, and I would put in people like, oh, I don't know, John Lennon and Paul McCartney and the rest of the friggin' Beatles.
but the music was so good.
The truth is that we gave them Madonna, so have at it.
Yeah, you
You
bastard.
can keep.
Well, isn't there an American princess now? Isn't she or is she like demoted from princess because she's American?
No, she is technically classed as a princess. It's depressing. I'm just waiting for them to just do a Diana on her, and that'll be that.
The queen is still alive. That is a possibility. Maybe Sargon will manufacture the whole thing. That's about as believable as Medicare having a grooming fucking gang. So, you know.
I still think it'd be hilarious to get Gordon Ramsay and MC on the same stream and just sit back and let them go.
See which one can outshout the other.
It'd be funny as hell, wouldn't it?
I would have to be in there just because I want to be somewhere near that man. He's gorgeous.
$5 on MC.
Now I'm a race.
He has a beautiful accent and he is gorgeous. Plus, it would be funny to throw in one-liners every once in a while.
You just want to talk to him, yeah.
Of course I do. It's Gordon fucking Ramsay.
I don't want to fucking talk to him other than I want to call him a cunt right at the very beginning and then kick him because he would be like, what the fuck just happened? This little motherfucker just kicked me out. It would be great. It'd be wonderful.
It's the simple pleasures that Mad Dog looks for in life.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
God
my
damn it.
kids would freak out. My middle child would freak out if it was Gordon Ramsay. I would have a fangirl.
Why? Because she likes him?
She's 11, and he does a kids' cooking series. And she thinks that's cool.
Saki in the chat says, here's a thought for you. Gordon Ramsay does the Kumite. Whoa.
A Kumite?
A
Kumite.
Kumite. Sorry, I read it wrong. So, hey.
If you're
a
gonna
bowl
say
right
it,
now.
say it right.
Sorry. Fucking see, I can't even say sorry right this second. Fuck you.
Sorry?
I do think that maybe
I turned Canadian for a second. My bad.
I think that might be an interesting kumite. Just let Gordon Ramsay go off on people. Yeah.
Yeah. Gordon Ramsay yelling at stupid people like always.
No, we could do it on the Redeye because Big Fat Brian is fucking he's got his culinary degree. He can cook. We could have Big Fat Brian versus fucking Gordon Ramsay. That would be good.
Brian doesn't like yelling though.
He doesn't.
No, but he'll just be snarky and have the greatest jokes. It'd be amazing. Gordon Ramsay's just yelling at him, and he's just like, whatever jokes he comes up with.
It's almost like somebody else has been to culinary school too, is something I could hear him saying. Yeah, he would be snarky.
And why is it that all these British people are fucking the wonderful chefs? They have bad food. At least I'm told. I've never been there. So fair enough, Jensen. I've never been there.
That's the problem. You're actually wrong. The whole joke about that came because of World War II. Actually,
oh my God.
Nowadays, it's just a meme. That's what you'd call it nowadays. The British food is actually really quite good if you like a certain type of food.
It starts with an if. What does that tell you?
Well, the if, I don't like a lot of the food that is considered great British food. That's actually the only reason.
Well, so now you're backpedaling like Sargon probably is. No kidding. I'm sorry, Jensen. I had to.
Yeah. Don't you dare accuse me of being that twat.
Those fighting words, right? Sports Don.
You call me that again, I'm calling you a Yankee. You get me?
I got you.
What are you talking about?
We're on the same page. I got you, buddy.
Dodge is a Yankee and Quinn's a European.
Oh,
lava grenades left and right.
yeah, shots fired. You are feeling better today. Goddamn. Okay, but I mean,
and you get a beam.
Oh god.
So the Pope called out the goddamn mafia.
What?
Vatican.
They stopped. The mafia stopped giving them children. Since
Well,
they
no,
lost
what-
their supply, now he's got
he actually fucking excommunicated them completely. He said, if you're in the mafia, there's no way you could believe in Jesus and no way you could be a part of the church.
You got to rape a child first.
Vatican City. Oh, I know. I get the jokes are coming, but Vatican City is right there in the middle of fucking where the mafia was born, and I'm sure it still operates.
I'm sure that he wishes he could move to Disneyland at this point.
Yeah, does that Pope want to live? Like, is he just, he's done with life? He's like, this job sucks. I'm fucking done.
I've had enough children for the day.
God damn, they keep coming. But
no,
I mean,
sorry. That freaking irritates me to no freaking end. Right? This whole thing with oh, we gotta pray. No, you need to open up your freaking books. You people need to sit up there and see what's going on. The church needs to sit up there and totally come clean with what's going on with that crap. It's been going on for too long, and it's been going on in multiple times and multiple time frames. It's beyond. It's way beyond. Just solving by saying, okay, well, we need to take a look at this and we need to pray on it. No, you need to open your books. You need to expose who these freaking predatory priests are, and you need to come clean as who was protecting them. You need to stop protecting the priests and start protecting the children, and he needs to go. And I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm belittling the church or belittling Catholics. I'm not. This stuff, though, it's gone on too long, and it has to end. It can't continue.
well, real quick, the chat. So self-surgery says wrong. The mob was born in Sicily, not Italy. I know that, but if you don't think they operate in Italy, then I got some beachfront property for you in Nevada. So,
no, I'm sorry. It's out of control, man. It's out of control. How can this continue? How can this continue to go on? Right? It can't. And they have the records. They have the ability.
For what? Over 1,000 years, they've had the sacred rite of the confessional, and those documents have always been sealed. What you're asking for is to unseal them.
If you're in a confessional and you're writing down what somebody's saying, you're already wrong. If your priest is sitting there going, "Don't hold on, could you say that again so I can get the context right?" No, that we're not talking about what's going on in the confessional. We're talking about their own records that they sit up there and wrote themselves about what's going on within their own parishes. That has to be released. If they have documentation, that has nothing to do with being in a confessional. Okay.
Wait.
Am I wrong about it?
Wait, all confessions are documented?
Apparently so. They got secret tape recordings. That's how they got Nixon. He was in a confessional, really. No.
Doesn't that kind of make the whole process moot?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is a confessional thing. But they have records. They need to open up these records of why they were moving priests and so forth. That doesn't violate the sanctity of the confessional in any way, shape, or form, as far as I can tell.
Well, no, and that was just the argument that they would give you, though, really. And I was raised Catholic, so I mean,
so did your priest sit up there and write down all your sins?
No, he did not. But do I know if he walked away?
Let's review where you were, man.
Do I know?
That's what the fuck was that, MC?
But they do write down the confessions of priests, I believe, because there is an archive of confessional testimonials or
They put
whatever.
in the dunking booth.
Dude, don't act like I'm defending the church either. So, like, don't attack me. I'm just telling you, there is a written record, and that's why they're not allowed to testify against somebody. That's why they're not allowed to disclose that information.
But that has
And
nothing to do
even
with what goes on in the confessional. The confessional is just you and the priest, right?
yeah, but do you not think a priest would confess to another priest about what he fucking did? I bet you he does, and I bet you they know. I bet you they have a goddamn record of it, and you're right, they should release it. But then, what's that going to do to the church on a whole with the violation of the confessional? You're going to lose a lot of members.
How are you saying this? I really don't see this being a violation of a confessional. All right, how can it be a violation of the confessional? If they're confessing to another priest, okay, fine. Well, why would he? Why if he's not writing it down for the rest of the clergy, right? The rest of the people in the or not the clergy, but the rest of the quote unquote faithful. Why would they be writing it down for a priest?
Because it's supposed to be forgiven and let go according to the Bible.
That's why you write it down so you can forgive it and let it go.
Well, I'm telling you, that's how they're violating the entire premise of their religion, and that's how it's a violation of the premise of the doctrines he's talking about.
Yeah, no, and it's just like when you go in to see a psychologist and they're sitting there writing everything down that you're spilling out. They're not allowed to release that either. It takes actually quite a bit to get that even into court, even if the fucking psychologist wants to turn it over. And it's the same
Bollock
thing.
says, "Come on, MC, time to confess. You fapped over trap porn just like Sargon's wife's boyfriend."
Where do you think he got the porn? You got me.
But it's the same premise, though, when it comes to
How is that
patient doctor.
I still don't see how that's a premise. And if you have documentation, out it. I don't care. Look. It's not a matter of confessing your crimes or confessing your sins or any of the rest of that garbage, right? The reality is you've got to protect. You're there to protect the flock, right? Isn't that what priests always say? Is that they're the shepherds of the flock and they're there to do the protection? Then they need to start protecting. They need to start taking their frickin' vows seriously, and not their. I'm not talking about their vows of celibacy or any of the other vows. The vows that they take to protect the flock, to protect the faithful. That's their job. And if they can't do that, all right, then what the heck's the point of them taking vows to begin with?
Well, no, you're absolutely correct. And the fact that they just moved the motherfuckers and put them at desk jobs, that's bullshit. They should have turned them in because they fucking knew it. And if this happened at a corporation, the motherfuckers would be in prison. Even the people that moved them from one job to another, if it was said, sexual harassment or what have you. It is 100% bullshit. It's the reason why I think this is a false pope. It's part of the reason why I'm no longer Catholic and I'm fucking agnostic. And that's just, you're absolutely right. But once you violate the vow of the confessional, then nobody else is going to confess. That means nobody else is really going to believe, and you just destroyed your own church.
How is that going to destroy their own church? Honestly.
Because let's say somebody killed their girlfriend, dug her, buried her, fucking got away with it, but they're Catholic.
Let me ask you a different question.
Like the mafia here.
Let me ask you a different question. How do other churches function then?
They're not Catholicism. It's a different thing. It's kind of like removing fucking a center part of fucking Islam. It would fall apart too. They're older religions than Protestantism.
So they have to upgrade some of their systematic and dogmatic systems. Is that really an issue? They haven't done that in the past. I believe they have. What's the difference here?
If they say that we will give your confessional to the police, no one's ever going to really confess. They would have to remove that whole part of their religion, which would make them Protestant and no longer Catholic. That it was pretty much one of the main sticking points of the split. other than the Church of England, which Jensen could probably talk about a little bit more than I could.
The differential was indulgences. That's where the split came out. If you study the split at that time. I'm sorry for getting dogmatic. I'll forget about it.
You guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta put my kids to bed.
Right.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
But no, you're right. There was many reasons though for the split. Just like when we argued the Civil War, there was many reasons for the Civil War. And one of those reasons, then why did the Protestants drop the whole confessional idea if that wasn't a reason for the split?
The reason for the split was indulgences, and some places still had the confessional. If I'm not mistaken, don't Lutherans still have a confessional?
I actually do not know. I've never been Lutheran.
And I think the Episcopal Church still has a confessional too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that because I'm not a scholar of theology or religions for that.
I've been talking this whole time. I was muted. Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Temma.
No, I was just saying no. Episcopalian is basically Catholic light. The rest of them, Lutheran doesn't have a confessional. Not like that. They don't have confession like that. No.
Okay. But it's like the split was over the whole use of indulgences, as far as I remember. That was where the primary split was.
I have no clue.
What I remember historically is I don't remember which king it was. Was it John or Richard got kicked out of excommunicated because he got a divorce without the Pope's permission, and then he created the Church of England, and then
that was Henry VIII.
That was Henry VIII. Okay.
Don't you understand?
No. Names, man. Names. That's why I said Quinn would know better, and I was hoping he would speak up, but he never fucking does. So I have to fucking stumble around this motherfucker. This wasn't a topic of the day. The topic of today was shitting on this fucking Sargon. Damn it. I wasn't ready for this.
Oh, you dumped on. Come on. Let's be honest. That guy is buried in so much shit, it's funny.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And buy a mug, please. Anyway, also like and subscribe. But Quinn, what was the split over? That was it, right? He got a divorce and he got excommunicated.
No, well, yes and no. What it was he demanded a divorce. The Pope told him to go suck it. So Henry turned around and went, you know what? Fuck yeah, I'll make my own bloody religion. And that is the short version of what happened.
Okay, so it was. I mean, they were selling indulgences, and that was a big fucking crisis, really, and a big problem. It was a way that they made a lot of money, and they gave away indulgence pretty much in the Crusades. You know, I don't care who you are, or what you do. If you die in the battlefield over there in the Middle East, you go to heaven. It's almost like the same idea Islam has right now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing for you with the Christians. You all know about the concept of original sin, yeah?
Oh, of course. I thought that was rhetorical. I thought you were going to continue talking.
No, I am. But I just wanted to make sure we're both on the same page. Can you name the only person who doesn't have original sin? And no, you don't get to say Jesus.
No, Jesus had original sin. But anyway, it would be Adam.
Had original sin removed from her from a papal something or other that was created. So she is the only person who doesn't have original sin. Now that means the church can decide who is and who isn't a sinner. Anything seem wrong about that with anybody?
No, it's perfectly fine. What's wrong with that?
Right, yeah. And we wonder why the church is considered a little bit corrupted. We get to decide who is and isn't a sinner. No, nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Well, no, and you said corruption, and that brings us right back to the whole point of what I wanted to get into with this story. So the Pope excommunicates the entire mafia. The mafia was caught running funds through the Vatican Bank about 15 years ago. Was it 20 even? And a pope actually, Pope Innocent, I think, was actually killed right after he was elected pope because he wanted to out everything. So there is a real fucking rotten core at the Vatican, and it needs to be cleaned out if the church is ever going to be what it once was, which it was always corrupted pretty much. But in the very beginning, I think it started out with good intentions.
Now you're going the memes route.
I'm not defending the Catholic Church.
It started out good. They were feeling everything was okay.
Well,
They
if
wanted
you
to do the right thing.
if you consider yourself a Christian, you have the Catholics to thank. That's all I'm saying.
Not everything
Okay.
Catholics did is bad. I will agree with that, but I won't sit there and say that Christianity is because the Catholic to thank the Catholics.
Why? They created all the other churches. It was a split off. But they created it.
The churches was not created by man. Granted, that's my view. I realize that. But the church is created by God to begin with.
Then why did he let it get so corrupted then? And no, I will argue theology. We'll go off on
God
that.
created man. Why? That's just like asking, why did he let mankind become corrupt?
Free will. That was the problem with the whole free will idea. Which actually, if you think about it, puts a real crimp in a lot of the church's problems, because God, the person who they're supposed to follow, gave mankind free will, which means the church doesn't have the right to question anything man does, because that means they're going up against God's will itself.
Well, to be fair, there is what the Episcopalians, they don't believe in free will; they believe in predetermination. So there is the Calvinists. Oh, okay, yeah. So like Andrew Jackson, we were just talking about him this weekend on the Civil War thing, but he was one of them, and that's why he never flinched in battle. He thought if the bullet's gonna hit me, it's gonna hit me. You fucking dumb fuck. Like, if he would have flinched that night when he got shot and then ended up dying, he would have fucking lived. That stupid bastard. Anyway, not to digress into the Civil War. But
if we want to talk about crazy people with religion, we can start going on about the sword of Damocles and Torquemada, but that's okay. MC knows what I'm talking about. I mean,
I gotta go, guys. It's coming up on dinner time for our house, so I gotta pop out. I'll talk to you guys later.
yeah, no, I think we're pretty much gonna wrap it up anyway. We've kind of gone off on a tangent here. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. The merch store is in the description, so is my Patreon. Here soon, I'm gonna get better at linking all the guests. I need to fucking start doing that. I apologize, Tema. Please go look up Tema the Hun and go subscribe to her. Also go subscribe to MC. If you love a good rant, you will fucking love his channel.
He's the man to go to. He's really good at rant.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. Soygon of Applebees. God damn it. Buy a better suit. And don't go to fucking France.